Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little. Expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey everyone, how are you? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday fun day. Happy social media Sunday, socializing Sunday. That's what we gonna call it. That's what I'm gonna start calling my Sundays on the hood table. Social media Sundays. Now this is of course, if I have additional time to do shows besides the one that normally Riggs and I do in the evening, which of course is from the block to the hood table, or if I just happen to, do multiple shows throughout the day. But normally Sunday evening, Riggs and I go live 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, and we do from the block to the hood table. But this weekend, he had posted on his wall. I don't have his community wall posted up, but he had posted something, and he had already told me prior to this, but he had posted on his wall that he was out of town, spending time with his son, which he does a lot. Great father, right? And we all know family comes first. And that's how we have always operated, whether it's him doing something with his family or me doing something with my family or holidays or whatever. We just need time away. So this Sunday night, which is tonight, we will not be live for From the Block to the Hood Table. Because again, he is away traveling, out of town with his son. So I was like, well, let me go ahead and get in where I fit in. It's been a lot of people going live in the last 24 to 48 hours, and I'm just trying to get in where I fit in. I know that Rick Reed had made a post saying he was going live in a few hours. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got to, say, or what type of content he's bringing. I don't know what he's going to be speaking on, but I am looking for Rick Reed, he's supposed to go live, in a couple hours. That's what he posted on his community wall. So I know Lady Nika and them just finished going live. I know Pizza was live. I know Lemon was live last night. Lemon is going live again in a little bit. So it's been a lot of people going live. I think TMO been going live, and Uppity did a live. Lovely Love did a live. And let me say shout out before we get into the content and the social media and the YouTube gossip. Let me first say shout out to the winner of the cook-off, which was Lovely Love and Uppity on Jay Dunn's panel. Now, a lot of people is over there watching and supporting, or just watching to be nosy. And Lovely Love did win. Now, we already know that the pot had been already split. Jay Dunn, she didn't know, she wanted to continue on, or if they were going to continue on, or when they would have to cook off, or, is it a lot of fool-la-la, as Pastor Jay Wilson would say, going on. So Jay Dunn was like, listen, I'm going to split this money between these ladies, from the donators that we received. But they still said they was going to do the challenge, the cook-off. Now, a lot of people is, talking shit, hey, Jay Dunn, you was talking about such and such doing, cook-offs, and that it was Reed, and that it was this and that. And so, other people were saying the same to Jay Dunn, that it was rigged. And I guess the reason why they might have been saying that is because of the fact that even though the ladies both got money and it was split equally down the line, there was no challenge. So therefore, maybe they were trying to say it was rigged because the people who donated, they donated to something that wasn't happening, but the challenge still did happen. It still did happen. It was a good challenge. You know, the ladies they came through. You know, a lot of people felt like Uppity. I mean, like Lovely Love did better than Uppity. You know, when I was listening to the judges, they were saying, you know, more positive things about Lovely Love. And you know, if you were watching the whole time, I'm sure you can see why they were saying certain things about you know, the cook off. But so we're going to get into that. But first thing first, I want to talk about this story that I have seen, and I actually recall this story from a couple of years ago. Let me pull it up here. And please, on your way in, please, please, please like and share the video, please. And thank you very, very much. Feel free to hit the subscribe button if you happen to be new here. And the donate, you can donate if you feel like it. $sign the hood table 402 on Cash App. But there was a story from out of Chicago, out of Chi-Town, y'all, from 2022. 2022, a little over 4 years ago. And I kind of recall this situation where a young girl was kidnapped. She went missing. She went missing. It was a kidnapping case out of Chicago, out of Chi-Town. 15-year-old had went missing. She basically went missing from like a movie theater. She went missing from a movie theater and was never to be seen again until recently. So, of course, you know, when shit like that happened, you know, law enforcement, I would hope in this situation they was trying to do everything they could. But, you know, coming from the mother didn't really feel like they were doing everything that they could. And then 4 years later, the teenager is found, which I am so happy, you know, for the family. As far as the teenager, I don't even want to say she was lured, but it seemed like there was a situation where the teenager might have been talking to an older person who lived out of town. And I don't want to say that the teenager probably was, you know, just trying to be out there, just trying to be fast, just trying to be grown. You know, it happens though. It happens though. So I'm not shading or judging. It happens though. Hey, I was in a predicament myself when I was younger. Okay. So a lot of people, especially back in those days, were in predicaments themselves with older guys. Older guys back in the day was like the thing. Maybe not for every family, maybe not for every woman or young woman, but for a lot of women, young women, older men was the thing. The men with money, the ballers, the ones with cars, you know, things like that. And for some of the families, a lot of families back in the day, if they found out that they teenage daughter was dating a grown man, unless it was like somebody old enough to be their daddy, you know, or their uncle or some shit like that, they sometimes didn't even have a problem with it. As long as what? As long as they was like putting in, you know, kicking in some money or, you know, some shit like that. I saw it all the time coming up. A lot of parents, they would have girls messing with older men. I mean, you got to say older men because they're grown. Even if they were young men, like 19, 20, 21, 22, but they still grown compared to a 15, 16, 17-year-old girl. And so some of the mothers, they'll be like, oh, he got a car. Have that nigga take you to work. Have that nigga buy you some clothes. Have that nigga get your hair done. Have that nigga, ask that nigga for some money so we can get some money on this rent. So, you know, and then earlier times in my mother's days, oh, that was really a thing. Age really wasn't a number back then. But anyway, let's get to this story. Then we gonna get into the B sector shit.
Five investigates a missing teenager case that has a good outcome, but it leaves behind a trail of misery and mystery for friends and family. It involves a 15-year-old girl who left home in Milwaukee 4 years ago, came to Chicago, and she vanished.
Get this, she's been found alive now in the state of Virginia, and a man there has been charged with kidnapping. Investigative reporter Chuck Gowdy has been trying to unravel this unusual abduction here. Chuck?
Stephen Allison, the kidnapping went down outside of a Chicago movie theater, according to law enforcement. It was June 23rd, 2022, more than 4 years ago. The teenage victim had taken an Uber from Milwaukee to Chicago to meet a man who had arranged the ride for her, a man she'd been communicating with online for several years. Investigators say he finally convinced the minor girl to meet up, and since that day in Chicago, they say he'd been holding her captive.
Her dad, he called me and was like, her phone was going to voicemail. And I knew immediately it was just off.
For the parents of this 15-year-old, Joniah Walker, a switched-off cell phone was the key clue that their daughter was in danger that day in 2022. The teenager became a well-publicized missing person, her family and friends begging for help and criticizing Milwaukee police for moving too slowly, pointing to this doorbell cam video of the last time the teenager was seen as evidence of a sloppy investigation.
Everybody on that block has a Ring camera. Why didn't they go knock on the doors?
You guys got the video.
We got the videos, not the police.
No one interviewed me. No one set me down. No one called us to the back. It was me. It was us, me and my family versus the police stations with a glass between us.
Now, 4 years later, Joniah Walker, 19 years old, has been found 730 miles away in a small frame home in Blacksburg, Virginia. Police say she'd been sexually and physically abused while being held as a captive here by this man, 37-year-old Owen Anderson, held, they say, ever since that day outside a Chicago movie theater where he had arranged to meet her following a lengthy online recruitment. Records state Anderson disposed of her cell phone and a burner phone he'd sent her to use in a sidewalk trash can. A few days ago, Milwaukee County authorities filing these kidnapping and child abduction charges against Anderson, who has yet to appear in Wisconsin court and is still in custody in Virginia. Milwaukee police declining our request to discuss the alleged kidnapping or answer questions about their investigation. An officer on the case has said previously that they had no indication the teenager had been targeted by an organized abduction ring.
Can assure you that our agency did check into our databases that we use that assist us with human trafficking investigations, and we have no reason to believe that she was involved in human trafficking.
In an email to NBC Chicago this afternoon, a Milwaukee police official reiterating that position, saying it would be misleading to report that the teenage girl had been a victim of human trafficking. However, the charges clearly lay out that she was the victim of a kidnapping, child abduction, and sexual abuse while being held against her will for years. An odyssey now ended, but many questions remain. Allison?
Chuck Gowdy, thank you.
So that's the latest update on that situation. I want to say, hold on, let me get this off of here. Stop screen. I want to say, in regards to that situation, it seemed like what had happened was obviously they said she was from Chicago, but I was kind of confused, and y'all can help me out if y'all want. The link is pinned, or you can comment in the chat if you know more about this story. But what kind of confused me was the fact that they were saying the teenager was from Chicago, but the charges are going to be in Milwaukee. So I don't know if that means that the teenager is from Chicago, but she was staying in Wisconsin, or I'm not following along quite on that part, because all the charges that they were talking about happen to do with Wisconsin. They literally said the kidnapping happened outside of a Chicago movie theater on June 23rd, 2022, according to law enforcement. Then it said the teenage victim had been taking an Uber from Milwaukee to Chicago to meet a man who had arranged a ride for her, a man she'd been communicating with online for several years. And I'm like, damn, several years? And she was 15 when she went missing? 15. So that means this man, if he was talking to her for several years, that could have been from 13, 14, 15. And he finally convinced her to meet up with him at a movie theater in Chicago, and he's been holding her ever since in Virginia. So I don't know. I mean, I guess we got to find out more, because he goes to court in August, but we'll find out more later. But Right now, I'm like, damn, was he from Virginia? Was he from Chicago? Was he from Milwaukee? They say she was from Chicago, but they're filing charges in Milwaukee. So I guess she had been taking an Uber from Milwaukee to Chicago, but they said she was from Chicago. So that's what kind of confused me because she's from Chicago, but she was taking an Uber from Milwaukee to Chicago. So maybe she was living in Milwaukee, but from Chicago. Child, I don't know. I'm just glad that the young girl who is now, because it's been over 4 years, I'm glad she's safe. I'm glad she's been found. Now they claim that she was essayed, and also there was some altercations, also like him beating on her or something like that, domestic violence, things like that. And then also they said that she was able to manage to call and get help. 911 had received a call, and they found out the girl, her name, because she said who she was. Probably called 911. This is such and such. I've been kidnapped. I'm from what whoop whoop whoop. And I'm sure they got there as fast as they can and rescue her. But again, when her mother was speaking, she was saying stuff like, the Milwaukee police, they was basically slow walking with them, not keeping in contact with them, not really following up with like evidence or things like that, especially that camera footage from the Ring doorbell. Like, why was they knocking on doors? Why was they like, because they probably feel like the man probably was living here somewhere or in Milwaukee or somewhere and then took her to Virginia. And maybe they could have caught him before he, relocated her to Virginia. But nevertheless, I'm glad that she has been, found. I hate what happened to her. You gotta, we say keep your eye on your kids. We say talk to your kids. We say talk to them about predators, talk to them about abuse, talk to them about, things like that. It's kind of hard sometimes to tell a young girl, this isn't the way, especially depending on what they're already going through. And I don't want to put nothing on the family or on the mom, but you never know what's going on at home. Now, as far as this guy, the predator, they're always in the wrong. I don't give a damn if the girl throws herself in the lap of a predator. I don't care what the girl is wearing, what the girl's not wearing, makeup, hair, nails, clothes, dresses, whatever. The flirty, whatever, it doesn't matter. The adult is always the responsible party and the one who needs to make that decision to not be a predator. So again, a lot of times things can happen like that with young girls and young boys. I mean, it's happened to me and it's happened to a lot of people. I don't know how many people, child, if I was to count all the young females that I knew in high school, like 15, 16 years old, who was messing with grown men, child. And I know it ain't just here. Sure, y'all don't even think black people here. So I know it ain't just here. It happens all over. It happens all over. Most girls who get pregnant, they not pregnant by no boy in the same age range in high school. At that, age, it's by a grown ass man. Matter of fact, I'm going to speak on a story about that tomorrow. Oh my God, there's this other story that I'm going to talk about tomorrow, but I'm only going to keep one trending news with y'all today, because I know y'all be wanting to fuck shit, okay? So let's carry on. Let's move it right along on that. But I will be following that story to see, how much time that man is going to end up getting and all that kind of jazz. And hey, maybe, who knows? Maybe there was many other victims. But anyway, as far as the B sector shit. Child, I was over at Lady Nika's, and I had watched a little bit of Lemon, a little bit of Pizza, a little bit of Lady Nika's, a little bit of Upty, a little bit, and Lovely Love. And again, shout out to Lovely Love for winning that challenge, that contest. Congratulations. And as I said the other day when they were on my panel, I was like, may the best chef win. May the best lady win. I'm all for a good challenge, especially when it comes to cooking and shit like that. But one thing I did want to say, child, I was over now Lemons. Y'all know I can't watch all the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. Especially with some of the people that be on there that I'm not really interested in watching. But I just happened to kind of like red ball through there and shit. And I happen to hear something about Daria and what's that dude name? NEK and Duke Pharaoh and Empress and what up, Sassy Francis? Now y'all need to fill me in on this shit. They said something about a cult and that NEK or Duke Pharaoh, one of them two, was supposed to be the new Nature Boy, and they were supposed to be going to Vegas and going to have this cult. And I was like, you know what? You lying to me. In my lovely little voice. You lied to me. I'm like, do I even want to know everything about this? Do I even want to know about them starting a cult or allegedly starting a cult? I had heard a little bit about that. Y'all can fill me in if y'all know more details about it. Like I said, I was just red balling through trying to find something interesting to do some commentary on. And I was like, child, you said, yeah, the lady, I think her name is, Janet Empress. Yep. They said her name is Janet or something. I heard she's supposed to be going to Vegas to be with Duke. Yeah, so what's with the cult, though? Is Daria supposed to go there, too? Or is it other women and other men that's supposed to go there as well? Like, fill me in, Sassy. Child, fill me in. And then I'm wondering, like, why the hell does Lemon still got that other dude over there, that white boy called P? What the fuck they call that dude name? P something. What is his name? Little PA. Little PA the Prince. He just look, I don't know. I ain't the one to try to put nothing on nobody, okay? But he's just weird. He is just really weird. Every time I see him up on that panel, I be like, he's just really weird and he's so out of place. Like there are some white people that have found their way into the B sector that, you know, we are fond of. They fit in, you know, because this is mainly majority black sector, you know, not the black sector, but you know what I mean. Mainly a lot of black people in the B sector. And we got a few speckles of white chocolate in here, right? And so, you know, one of the most fondest people in here is Charlie. You know, she's loved and liked by a lot of people. Not all, but none of us are liked by all, right? But a lot of people do like her and they are fond of her and they accept her and, you know, her skin, the skin that she's in and shit like that. But that PA dude, child, especially that time when he got into it with now mind you, I still think she's weird too. I still think that what's her name? What's that older white lady that is his moderator? Y'all know who I'm talking about. I think I don't know. It's just something about her. But when he had got into it with her and told her that he was going to be in her dreams or some shit like that, I was like, what the fuck? And just some of the shit that he been saying. And then remember when we saw that he had, you know, a urine bottle or a bottle, like a pop bottle or some type of bottle behind him and it was full of urine and he had got busted with urine behind him talking about he don't want to take the long walk downstairs to go to the toilet. Too lazy to take the long walk downstairs to go to the toilet. So he's just gonna piss in a bottle. Piss in a bottle. I don't think we done seen no pissy bottles ever since then, but it definitely gives me that he keeps pissy bottles, probably fills them up, probably dumps them in the toilet and then refills them, dump them in the toilet, refills them, because that ain't no one-time thing. That ain't no shit that you would just do one time. It ain't no shit that you would just do one time to fill up a whole bottle of piss. Child, no. But anyway, he was over there too. And I kind of like red ball past that because I'm like, nope, not interested in that either. But what I did catch was Lolo. When he was on the panel, I guess he was on the panel for a minute. And well, not that long, I don't think. But he was on the panel for a minute and Lolo had hit the panel. And so Lemon had said, PA, is that a cigarette hanging out your mouth? And he said, yeah, I'll be right back. Now, I don't know why he left because Lemon said, is that a cigarette in your mouth? And then he said, I'll be right back. So I don't know if he wanted to finish his cigarette or if it had something to do with something else. But I don't know. But it was funny because when he was saying he'd be right back, Lolo was like, yeah, he coming back, but he gonna get a bottle first. And Lemon thinking a bottle like a drink, like liquor or something like that. And Lolo said, no, I mean for him to piss in. Child, that was funny as fuck. I was like, Lolo. Lemon was like, oh, you going to get a bottle? All right. I see you back in a minute. Lolo was like, nah, he ain't getting that type of bottle. He's getting a bottle that he can piss in. And Lolo, you might be right. You might be right. He might have went over there in the corner and pissed in that bottle and then came back. I don't know if he came back because again I red ball through there. But you said, what did you say? Sassy, you said, but I don't know, girl. Oh, you don't have no more tea? Okay. I'm gonna have to figure out where the tea is. Maybe I need to go over to does Empress even do content anymore? I don't even know if she does. I haven't been over to her channel in a long time. A very long time. A very long time. But you know what? When it comes to Daria, the same way that people is over there on Jay Wilson's neck, there's people over there on Daria's neck. Besides Tracy, there's this other person who is over there on Daria's neck. I don't know this person, but their name is Pure Old Mentality. They have been making chat GPT pictures of this girl. They got her nose looking like a pig nose. They call her Daria the pig or Piggy or whatever the fuck they call her. But they have been like constantly making posts on their community wall about Daria and posting these pictures. And they said that Daria was trying to start her own sector. That's what I heard. Is it true that Daria is starting her own sector? And if so, what type of sector? Like what type of sector? I really want to know what type of sector. I don't know because the only thing I know about Daria is her like flirting with guys and messing with some of the guys in different sectors and domestic violence and pregnant and not pregnant, abortions, not abortions, herpes, not herpes. I don't. What type of content will she be doing in this sector? Child, Lemon said she was on her way driving to. So Empress was on her way driving to Vegas, or was Daria on her way to drive to Vegas? You know what? You might be talking about Empress because didn't Lemon say that he was talking to her and she was on the phone? And he said she was on the phone driving. Yeah, you must be talking about Empress. Yeah, because I do think I recall that. Yep, I do think I recall that. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. They say Daria about to start a new sector allegedly, but they is really like this pure old mentality is really like going in on Daria on their community wall. Like, have y'all seen the pictures? The Chat GPT pics? Oh my god! Like, okay. Anyway, so then while I was watching certain people, I did get over to Lady Nika's. I always enjoy watching Lady Nika's. I was watching Lady Nika and she did say that she was going to be doing the Halloween challenge. So, Lady Nika been doing that for quite some time. The Halloween challenge. What is this, like year number 4 or 5 or I might be off, but she's been doing it for quite some time. You said Empress Janet was on her way and drive. Yep, okay, yep, it was because I did hear him say, she was driving in her car or some shit like that, and he called her. I'm like, damn, y'all just got everybody's phone number up in this motherfucker. Mm. No. Damn, like everybody got everybody's phone number. But so Lady Nika is going to be doing her challenge. She said that she had got a $400 donation. She's supposed to be using some of it for the pot. And keeping some of it for her birthday. She's like, I ain't donating all this shit to the pot and her motherfucking birthday coming up, shit. But she did say the pot was gonna be capped at $550. Anything over that will go to the judges, DJ, and to her. But she's like, she's not worried about getting anything because she says she hardly ever does anyway. But due to the high demand or whatever, she had heard that people want her to do the contest because sometimes Lady D can be like, nope, I'm pulling back. I'm not doing it. Somebody else can have. Matter of fact, she threw it to Lemon one year, right? She threw it to Lemon. She, gave him the baton one year, and Lemon went over there and he did the Halloween contest. So, Halloween contest is always fun. We didn't have several people, including VS, and other people do Halloween contests. So I think that'd be really fun if they can pull that off again. I know she's gonna have the DJ. And she says, so, of course, DJs gotta be paid, judges gotta be paid. And I don't know if for the most part in a lot of these contests or challenges, if a lot of judges do normally get paid, but I do know that Lady Nika do try to pay her judges and her DJ, when she throw her challenges for the Halloween contest. So I am looking forward to that. But child, why Bree is back, y'all. Bree in now she says she doesn't know how often she's going to be doing commentary in the B sector. And she did tell her subbies the other day, we got to come up with a context clues. We got to come up with, a word. A word. When Bree gets to, what did she call it? I forgot what did she call it when she get to, I don't want to say messy. I don't want to say, okay, let me just say if she goes too far. If she goes too far in the dragon or roasting, or, if she gets too spicy. I think that's what Brianna called it. If she gets too spicy, she said, we got to have a word. So they was trying to come up with different words. I don't know what she's going to come up with. I don't know if Bri is going to do a poll or something like that. But, people was dropping shit down in her chat, saying, what they think she should say. And some people like, man, that ain't going to work. It don't matter what we put in the chat. It don't matter what they might tell you in your ear on the panel. Because once sometimes when people get to going, they get to going and ain't no stopping. Okay, ain't no stopping when they pop it. So, but Bree, she's back, doing her commentary, and I'm glad she's back because it adds to, the commentary in the B sector. It adds to the content in the B sector because a lot of people have, settled down and they sitting back and either watching in the cut or not watching at all, or they in another sector doing other things. Life be life, and for a lot of people too. But I'm glad not only because of that, but because of the simple fact that, we all have been talking about what YouTube is doing to us. Okay, to us. They always making shit harder for us to make a coin. They always make it harder for us to make a coin. And they ain't really giving us shit. You know what I mean? Like, we literally have to go to other platforms to amp up our channels. Like, we got to go to the StreamYards, to the Restreams, things like that, the OBSs, the, other platforms to do certain things on YouTube. Because on YouTube, all you can literally do is come on here and go live. I mean, you might be able to use a filter or two. But on YouTube, it's not a lot of options, a lot of things you can add to your like banners and like, images and like adding videos, and when you're reporting on news stories, like adding news videos or, things like that. Yeah, they give us their platform to use, but for them to be giving us the platform to use, the only really thing besides that I can say that they probably do that helps a lot of people is allowing people to sell their products, like link their products to their product store, whether it's Teespring or Amazon, because I am an Amazon affiliate, and I am an affiliate to Atlanta. I forgot what it's called already, but Atlanta got to do with like t-shirts and what is it called? What I'm about to see. I gotta look. I gotta look because I don't want to tell y'all the wrong name because it is all on my link and shit like that. But and I still got my. I need to delete my Teespring off of here because now that I do my own merchandise, I really need to delete my Teespring off of my description in my videos. I thought I did it. I know I deleted it on Teespring. I removed my YouTube, but I thought I did because you know how you have a description that appear on every video. Some of us have a description like a when you go to your settings, we have a default description where it gives like our name, our email, our links, different websites that we might want people, our merchandise, backup channel, all that kind of shit, right? So in my default description, I still have Teespring in there. So I need to take care of that when I get off of here. But anyway, so yeah, back to whatever the hell I was saying. I forgot what I said. But yeah, so anyway, as far as like YouTube, what they're doing, of course, with the 4,000 hours, and that was Atlanta Vinyl, by the way. Atlanta Vinyl is one of the places that I go through for, my t-shirt business, my arts and crafts, my party favors, anything dealing with parties, cakes, t-shirts, all that shit. I get a lot of stuff from there from Atlanta Vinyl. So what I'm saying is basically there's a few ways that you can make, some extra streams of income on YouTube besides getting paid for your videos on YouTube, but it's not a lot. They don't offer as much shit as the StreamYards and the Restreams and the OBSs and things like that. You got to get creative in certain other ways, just to make your content pop more on YouTube. But they always taken away from us. Like they're always increasing the amount they take away, the percentage they take away. And they always making it harder for us. If it's not the watch hours, then it's the subscriber count, or it's one thing or another. One thing or another. But let somebody complain about somebody doing something on here that YouTube has in their bylaws that we shouldn't be doing. Child, please. If YouTube really went by all their bylaws of what people should be doing on here, a lot of us would never grace this platform again. But no, they fall short on that. They definitely fall short on that. So when Bree says she's coming back, that's probably a good thing too because of the watch hours. Because after February, if you are not constantly keeping 4,000 hours in a 12-month period before February gets here, then you're going to have to be required to get 8,000 watch hours in a 12-month period. And for some people, like for Bree, I'm sure people like Bree, who does a lot of content in the B sector and shit like that, it might be easy for her to get that 8,000. You know what I'm saying? But for a lot of people, it's not going to be that easy. And with her, getting back into the B sector content or whatever, I'm looking forward to that. And also, again, it'll help her to stay hopefully grandfathered in. With the because if you get your 4,000 hours before February 1st, then you're grandfathered in. So again, I say to all the people who are thinking about becoming content creators or short right now on those hours and want to get monetized, y'all better get grandfathered in before February 1st. Get those 4,000 watch hours, 1,000 subscribers. If you are very fond or close to a bigger YouTuber or something like that, hook up with them, see if they can help you out. Maybe they can join you on your panels or, send people to your channels or, things like that. I even suggested maybe flip-flopping. Like some of us, like Riggs and I, we flip-flop every Sunday. I go to his panel, he go to my panel. Maybe y'all could flip-flop with people. Maybe on Monday, y'all could be on your panel. Maybe on Wednesday over here. Maybe on Friday over here. Just find something to do on your panels because it's really hard to get those watch hours. So yeah, y'all better get on the grind if y'all trying to get those 4,000 before it goes to 8,000 in February. So that's all I have to say about that. But as far as the challenge go, when I say Bree was being messy, Brianna had me cracking up. They was talking about the Halloween challenge, and Bree gonna tell Lemon. Bree gonna tell Lemon that she got a suggestion for him for a costume, and he was like, "What?" And she was like, "Nah, never mind." Bree was like, "Nah, never mind." He was like, "No, tell me." Brianna done suggested that this fool go out and get him a fat suit, take out his tooth, put a blank spot in the other tooth, and dress up as uppity. Child, I'm like, oh, I was too tickled. I was too tickled. That was over there on Lady Nika's. Lady Nika had a full house today. It was Lady Nika, it was Bree, it was Pizza, it was Charlie, it was Mother, it was Lemon, it was Catherine. Ooh, even Catherine hit the panel. Did anybody else hit the panel? I might be missing somebody, but I think I got everybody. But I might be missing somebody. But Lady Nika had a full panel. Yeah, Bree, Charlie, Pizza, Catherine, Mother. I don't know who else hit the panel. But yeah, so I guess Ghetto and Catherine had a little tit for tat going on. And Catherine had cussed Ghetto out. She was over there on her live cussing Ghetto out. She cussed him out over on Pieces. And Pizza thought that she was mad or upset because he wouldn't give her $100. Because according to Catherine, she said that Ghetto always leaves with his wallet. Now I wouldn't have any idea about this because ain't nobody leaving their wallets over here. But according to Catherine, she was saying he leaves with his wallet. And so I'm thinking, well, okay, closed mouths don't get fed. Closed mouths don't get fed. But see, I didn't know that with the situation with the pastor, how close Ghetto is allegedly to that pastor. So they was like, why would you want money from him anyway? Why would you want him to donate or give you some money anyway? Because of the fact that I guess Ghetto has some words to say about her in the past about, the pastor, the one that she's been beefing with. People claim she's beefing all by herself. People also claiming that the shit is not real, that she's making all this shit up in her mind, that she's in love with this pastor, that she's jealous of the wife, that who she says has a drug problem allegedly, or and sleeping around with the women's, and just other things, right? And basically, Catherine was saying, she wasn't upset about the fact that he wasn't giving her $100. It was because he had said that she was, mentally ill. And let me take a sip on that. Take a sip on that good yak. But she said she was upset with Ghetto because he said she was mentally ill. Now, I could have sworn that maybe I'm wrong, but I thought she had talked about stuff like that in herself before. Maybe. If I'm wrong, please correct me, keep me honest. But even Pizza has said something about, well, was it Pizza or Brie? One of them was saying something like, but Catherine, you had said something about her. You talked about you. And I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she's not mentally ill, but a lot of people feel like she is mentally ill and she needs to be locked up and put somewhere in a straitjacket. Now, this is just shit that I done heard people say, okay? Now, y'all know the hood table don't be putting 20 on 10. I speak about what I hear, see, saw, heard, right? So, people have been saying for months and months and months that she was mentally ill, that something was wrong. But I guess Ghetto saying it, I don't know, maybe it hit harder for some reason today. But I don't know. But anyway, I don't know. But then she was going on into ghetto and the pastor and the church. Now, allegedly, Ghetto used to go to the church and he's like frat brothers with the pastor. And Catherine was like, don't have me go into the archives. Don't have me go and get out all your tea. She was talking about something on 13th Street. What the fuck is on 13th Street, y'all? She was talking about something on 13th Street. And I'm like, what the hell is on 13th Street? But she told him, I guess if he don't leave her alone or some shit, that she's going to tell all his business that has something to do with the church and 13th Street. She was like, didn't you used to hang out on 13th Street? And I'm like, what the fuck? 13th and what, girl? What's the street name? What's the cross streets? What? She said she will be showing pictures and everything. And so I'm like, hold a minute. He told her he was going to give her $100 when this stuff first started. So he owed her. I did hear that he do be child, you know what? I did hear that he do be telling people he's going to give them money or send money to their Cash App, and then he don't be doing it. That's what I heard. So was it one of those situations in that he had told her he was going to send money to her Cash App and he didn't? Because I did hear, do tell, child, do tell. I did hear that he had was doing shit like that. Now he ain't ever told me no shit like that. So I don't know, and I don't be checking for nobody's pocketbooks and all that shit on here. But if that's what he said, and he told her she was going to get $100, then she probably did expect that $100. You know. But when he told her to request the money, she said no because he knew the past. Oh. So what changed? If she knows that he knew, if she knew that he knows, I was about to say that all wrong. If she knew that he knows the pastor, what changed? Because she said she didn't want to send the request, and now she still wants the $100. But she told Pizza she ain't mad that she didn't get the $100. She's just upset because he told her she was mentally ill. And I ain't gonna put no jackets or no titles on nobody, so I'm gonna just leave that right there. Now I did hear them also ask her was she gonna accept Jay Wilson's apology if he ever apologized to her, because she used to be over there all the time on Jay Wilson's. And then when this shit happened with the pastor and everything, things just kind of went south. And I guess she felt disrespected over there or whatnot, and she ain't been over there as far as I know. And so they was like, well, would you accept his apology if he ever apologized? And Catherine said she done came to the conclusion that if he ever gave her an apology, it would be just as fake as all the degrees on his wall. When I say they was cutting up over there on Lady Nika's, Catherine said if he ever gave her an apology, it would be just as fake as all the degrees on his wall. Now, I did hear a little bit about Mother and yes, they had a little tit for tat as well. This person, Saucy Santana, I had heard about the news, in social media. I heard a few people talking about it. What allegedly was done, with underage, boys or whatnot. And I haven't done no commentary on it because I don't do commentary on everything. I just don't do commentary on everything. It has to truly interest me, draw me in for me to do commentary. Just like with the B sector, I don't do commentary on everything that happens in the B sector because I don't watch everything and it has to draw me in. I have to be really interested in it. But let me see what you say. You said she didn't want the money no more because she felt like they was going to think that she... Oh! Thank you, Sassy. Thank you for clearing that up. And I think I did hear her say that too. Thank you for clearing that up. But everybody else begging on this motherfucker. In my Sean, did I do it right? In my Sean Bradley right? Motherfucker. Shit, every day I come on here, somebody begging. I'm like, it's a begathon challenge. Challenge! In my Spilling Boy voice. But yeah, everybody else be on here begging. Shit. But anyway, okay. So I forgot what I was saying, child. Oh yeah, okay. So I guess somebody said that, or I guess mother got wind of him saying something about uh from watching mother Treasure Lane. He had got wind or word or heard or saw that ZX was disappointed in him because he wasn't doing commentary on the Saucy Santana shit. And I guess because it has something to do with the community, and it's a gay person, and they're in the community. And I guess he figured that James or Spilly Boy Treasure would do commentary on it. And Treasure just literally came live and said, he he don't even watch. Like, I think he said he don't even watch Saucy, or he don't follow Saucy. And so that's probably why he hasn't done commentary on it. But then he also was like, and I wouldn't think that he would be watching or following either, because it has to do with the community. And in the past, mother was saying that in the past, they didn't have conversations. Him and ZX had conversations. Sometimes they would even hit each other panels or drop down in each other's chats. But it never kind of like was conversations based on LGBT, the community, or anything like that. Because Treasure Lane is like, we know what and what we're not going to be discussing, because people know how he feels about the community, and James is in the community. And so, to keep them on a, just level YouTube, whatever, 10, 9, whatever the fuck y'all want to call it. James is like, we don't have those conversations. So I guess he didn't understand why he said he was disappointed that he didn't discuss that shit. And there is a lot of people discussing the shit. Shoot, I've been seeing a lot of people who been discussing the shit. And they ain't never discussed Saucy ever. But it is content. It is content. A lot of times people will jump on the bandwagon. Just like Tasha K. A lot of people had no idea. Now, mind you, Tasha K is a big YouTuber, right? But when that shit was first happening with Cardi B and shit, a lot of people was like, Tasha, who? A lot of people didn't know. Then once it came out in the lawsuit and the $4 million or whatever that she owes Cardi now, a lot of people know of Tasha K now, even though she had a lot of followers. And people were jumping on the bandwagon. And that is probably how Tasha hit 1 million so fast, because she wasn't at 1 million when that shit first was going on. When she was talking to Star Marie. Y'all remember that shit when she was talking to Star Marie, and Star Marie was saying how Cardi B didn't have no clean drawers. She didn't have no clean stripper clothes. She put a bottle in her. She had the herpes. She had, just all kind of things, that she got rats and roaches in her apartment. And it was just a whole lot that Star Marie was alleging that Tasha K was allowing her to say on her panel. And of course it went left, because it's one thing to have somebody on your panel making allegations about some shit. Like, okay, allegedly, I'm not saying that the thoughts and views of the host may not be y'all know the saying that people be putting on their damn channel when they be having people up on their channel, and they might not, here we go right here. Here we go right here. The views and opinions in this video on the Hood Table channel are those of the guest callers and viewers, and not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Hood Table nor its affiliates. People put something similar to that, on their channels, or, on their videos when they might have a guest. But Tasha K, oh no. Oh no. She didn't stop there with the guest. She continued to harass and defame Cardi B for years, for months and months and years and years. All the things that she heard, she was making Bible. Basically, she was making Bible, and then she was throwing up the fact that, oh, I got lawyers. I ain't lying. This is what's said. This is what she's doing. Da 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 da. And when Cardi B was send her a cease and desist, keep on sending them. I'm gonna keep on wiping them with my ass. Shit like that. And then they went to court. And Tasha K walked up in there with a criminal attorney instead of a civil attorney and got her ass whipped all over that courtroom. Then allegedly, Tasha K and allegedly her African husband, they moved all their money allegedly overseas to Africa. Allegedly. See how that worked? But yeah, so you gotta be careful when you're doing content and shit like that. But yeah, so that's what had happened with the Tasha K's and whatnot. So some people, when they hear a story, they might not know of that person, that star, that celebrity or nothing, but they'll just jump on the back wagon because it's content, right? That's how it works. And you said not the people on YouTube, the pastor and the congregation. Not the people on YouTube. Hold on. You said she didn't want the money no more because she felt like they was going to think that she was begging. Not the people on YouTube. Oh, you said the pastor and the congregation was going to think she was begging. Child. Is the pastor still got her in some little spot? I don't know what it was. Was it a boarding house? Was it a rooming house? Was it an apartment? Child, you know what? Anyway. What's up, Jill? How you doing, boo? And again, make sure you guys are liking and sharing the video, please, and thank you very much. But yeah, so that's what up, Jane. I mean, Trezor, he went over there. He did about a 25-30 minute live. If y'all missed it, go over there. But he was responding to ZX, and his thoughts about Saucy and whatnot. So yeah, but he was also explaining that on Lady Nika's panel as well, because I don't know, was it Lemon? I can't remember if it was Lemon who had asked him about it, but yeah. Anyway, he did discuss it. He did discuss it over there. Lemon also asked Trezor what he thought about the cooking challenge of Jaden's panel with Lovely Love and Uppity Ups. Trezor said he didn't watch. It wasn't on his radar. He wasn't over there. He wasn't looking. He wasn't in the clouds. He wasn't in the bushes. He said he didn't see. He said he wasn't over there. And I was cracking up because Lemon, after he did ask him that, he said he didn't even know, like, who Trezor didn't even know, like, who the contestant was or anything like that. So they told him, like, who were the contestants, and they was like, well, Lovely Love. And he was like, oh, I like Lovely Love. And so then they was like, yeah, she was cooking against, Uppity, right? And he said he didn't know who won or anything like that. He said, I don't know nothing about the challenge. I didn't watch. I wasn't there. As soon as they said Lovely Love won, Trezor had me cracking the fuck up because he said, oh, it was a wonderful challenge. He went from, I love me some Trezor. Like, he went from, I don't know, I wasn't there. It wasn't on the radar. I was watching another station, another channel. I was doing something else. And as soon as they said Lovely Love won, he said, oh, it was a wonderful challenge. I was cracking up. They was talking about now I was in and out of the challenge. I ain't gonna hold you. I was in and out of the challenge. Hey, Sassy said, oh, hey, G, I said hi to Jill. Hey, boo. You said, I don't know where she at, but the other day she was cooking beans and turkey tails, and it looked like she had, oh. Now, that's a good thing, right? If she's back at her mom's, right? That's sometimes when you got to go back home, sometimes, let's say this, if you find yourself having challenging, difficult, trying times. You lose a job, you become homeless. Sometimes, going back home to the nest is something that you just got to do. It's a sacrifice sometimes, because I know I heard her in the past talk about her mother was always in her business. Her mother was in her medical business, her health business, her church business, all that kind of shit. And she didn't like it. But sometimes you have no choice. Unless there's someone else that will take you in. And I mean, a lot of times people these days, when I tell you, what up, how you doing, last call? Hey, love. These days, y'all, I mean, have y'all seen a lot of the videos on squatters? A lot of people ain't trying to take people in these days, because a lot of people will try to take over your house, take over your crib, and they don't want to leave. Then you got to go to court, and you got to evict them out your own shit. You got to evict them out your own shit and deal with somebody living with you, either messing up your shit, disrespecting you, not paying bills, having all kind of company, doing drugs, anything, you name it. So a lot of people ain't fucking around. You homeless? I don't know what to tell you. I can give you $5. I can get you a hotel room for the night. I can point you to the nearest shelter. But I'm sorry. I just can't. So a lot of people are like that. So, sometimes you gotta make a sacrifice and just try to get on your feet as soon as possible. If things are really that bad, every single dollar you got, just stack up your chips so you get your own shit. That's all I can say. That's all I can say on that. That's all I can say on that. But yeah, so they was talking about the steak. So I was in and out the video, in and out the show with Jadon and Uppity and Lovely Love. So I didn't see everything. And then I was on my phone. Was I on my phone? I think I was on my phone. So maybe if I had it on my TV or my laptop, I probably would have saw clearer images or bigger images. But they was talking about Uppity steak was gray. I'm like, huh? Now I know she had a very expensive steak, right? The Wagyu steak or whatever it's called. They said she had a very expensive steak that somebody, had sent her some money or donated to her so that she could buy the steak. They said the lady's name is Sandy Belazar. I don't know that person. I don't know if I ever seen them in the chat. I don't know if they're a subscriber. I don't know if they come from a particular, I don't know, sector in here, but they said her steak was gray. They said she only put salt and pepper on it. I know I heard some of the judges say that she didn't like marinate the steak or season the steak right, or I don't. And then I saw Lovely Love. She had like this whole bag of butter seasoning and Cajun seasoning and all that kind of shit. Lovely had like, I was like, okay, girl. Now, I'm not the best steak cooker. I would say that. And I'm not even a real steak eater. But when I do get me a nice little piece of steak, I do marinate. I do season mine. I do like, I might put some Cajun seasoning in there, some pepper, some Lowry, some steak seasoning, I put some shit in there, okay? I might put a little oil in there, put a little what's that shit called? That brown shit, that brown what's that? Worcestershire. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Worcestershire sauce. I'll put some shit up in that mug, right? And I'll put all my steaks in a Ziploc bag. And I let them marinate, for a minute. Now they said that Uppity took her steak straight out the bag. Like straight out the bag that it came from the store during the challenge. And I'm like, whoa. Matter of fact, that was Newbie who was saying this. Newbie was giving her thoughts on the challenge when she was judging. And she said that she took it, like literally ripped it open, on live during the challenge, and you only get like an hour and a half or an hour and whatever they had. And so I'm like, she didn't let it come to room temperature. She didn't like tenderize it. She didn't. Child, I was like, what? And again, I was in and out. I was in and out, so I didn't see the whole thing. I didn't see the whole thing. I was in and out. I saw a little bit of this, a little bit of that. When I saw Lovely chopping up that meat, child, I need me one of them. I don't even know what the fuck it's called. But Lemon was like, when he saw that shit at first, he was like, oh, it's a wrap. Lovely, what the fuck you doing? You up here, you done got some type of blender. You done threw that steak in a blender. And I'm at first I was like, what is that? What is that too? But Lemon was like, oh yeah, it's about to be a wrap for Lovely Love. But I guess it's some type of blender that you chop meat up in, or I don't know, but it worked out pretty well. It worked out pretty well. But yeah, then they were saying that Uppity had put salt on her strawberries. And I'm like, salt? They kept saying salt. Then somebody in the chat said no sauce. And I was like, oh, she put sauce. And I was like, maybe it was some chocolate sauce. Because just the other day, we was talking to, was it Lovely? And we was talking about how to make chocolate ganache. And they didn't know how to make chocolate ganache. And me and Charlie was like, it's only 2 ingredients. You cannot go wrong with ganache. Just listen to me. We was given the instructions. All you need is semi-chocolate, semi-sweet chocolate, and all you need is some cream, some heavy cream. Warm you up some heavy cream, about a cup. Make sure it's nice and hot but not burnt. Then put you about a cup of semi-sweet chocolate in there. Let it sit till it gets soft. Then stir that shit up. Stir it up. If it's not thick enough, then add a little bit more chocolate in there. Warm it up in intervals of like 20 seconds. If you need a little bit more cream, add a little bit of cream. It's 2 ingredients. You just can't fuck it up. But I don't know. So I don't know what type of sauce that she might have put on there. So she did say salt, because the people in Lady Nika chat said sauce. Because I thought people were saying salt as well. And I think they were saying salt. Because even Lemon and them was like salt. And Brie and them was like salt. Why the fuck would you put salt on strawberries? Then Charlie was up there low. Well, maybe for this, or maybe. I'm like, child. It has to. It has to be sauce, Jill. It has to be. It has to be sauce. Because I'm like, okay, maybe I need to try it, because I never put salt on a strawberry. On watermelon, on tomatoes, especially if they fry green tomatoes, the pepper and the salt, and ooh, child, a little hot sauce. But salt on a strawberry, I don't know about that, Jill. I don't know. But yeah, they had me cracking up over there talking about Uppity had her steaks in New York. That was that damn Lemon. That damn Lemon. Talking about Uppity had her steaks sitting in New York for 3 days and 3 nights. And that's why it was gray. And somebody even said, no, mother said, oh my God, Uppity over there about to get the mad cow disease, child. But Catherine said, don't y'all think that she should have bowed out, after having her steak sat out for 3 days? I'm like, y'all is tripping. I know this lady did not have her steak sitting out for 3 days. I think they over there putting 20 on 10. Because why would she have her steak sitting out for 3 days? It don't take no time for steaks to thaw out. Matter of fact, even with ribs, it don't take no time for ribs to thaw out. And Bree said because Uppity is used to eating carbon monoxide. Oh, child. And then I hear there was a fire alarm going off. They said there was a fire alarm going off on Uppity house at her apartment, and then she didn't know how to get it to stop, or then she said the maintenance man said she had the batteries in the wrong way, and I don't know. I just know somebody sent me a little kite and said, child, Uppity's fire alarm keeps going off, and I was like, what? Anyway. But yeah, so yeah, they was over there giving their little commentary on the steaks or whatnot. uppity or their commentary on the the challenge or whatnot. But then again about Lady Nika's poll. Lady Nika. Lady Nika. Hey, everybody love that song. But Lady Nika had put up a poll. And the poll had 3 questions. Do you still want the Halloween contest? Do you want to go forward with the Halloween challenge contest? Are you tired of the contest? Do you not want to see it? Are you tired of the bullshit? Or fuck you and goodbye. 3 options. Do you still want the contest? Are you tired of the contest? Or fuck you and goodbye? Do you know a lot of people said fuck you and goodbye? And Lady Nika did sound like she was lit though. She was like, well, fuck y'all too. And they was like, why would you put that option in there? Because especially if somebody is hate watching, they definitely gonna pick that one, fuck you and goodbye. Or if they just trying to be funny, like Charlie was saying, they gonna say fuck you and goodbye. But when Lady Nika said she put fuck you and goodbye on there, I was cracking up. But when she said how much the percentage was for fuck you and goodbye, she said, oh, so y'all don't want the challenge? Okay, y'all don't want the contest? All right, whatever, fuck you too. Child. Bree said, Lady Nika, why would you put that over there? Lady Nika over there smoking on that good. She over there smoking on that shit, sending us smoke signals. And she's like, Bree, I'm over here just, Lady Nika over there feeling real good. Lady Nika over there feeling real good and then fucked around and put fuck you and goodbye as one of the options. So, yeah, of course, they was going to possibly say that. That shit was funny as fuck. Hey, Peace Cobbler, how you doing, boo? Yep, they did say it was a delivery issue. They said she had got it there late or some shit like that. You said how many steaks was not offered? No damn 3 days. The steaks have just came at 3:30 the day of the. Oh, you said the steaks just came at 3:30. Why the steaks just came at 3:30? Now I heard her say they came from Australia. Did the steaks really come from Australia? Is that why it took 3 days to get there? Because they said Uppity was saying how much the steaks cost, like $75 or whatever. And Lemon said Audio went online and he looked up some steaks and found the same steaks for $40. Because they said Uppity was bragging about the steaks and saying how people in the chat couldn't afford the steaks or they wish they could afford the steaks or whatever, And they said Audio had went online and looked it up on Google or whatever and looked up the steaks and found some for cheaper than the $75. Oh yeah, I did hear that too, Sassy. That they hold on, Sassy. So it's true that the steaks were sitting for 3 days, Sassy? Where was they sitting at, Sassy? Sassy, where was the steak sitting at? Where? Uppity. Now I know she had said that that they was having elevator problems. I know she said they was having elevator problems. Yeah. And being that she has, issues with her legs or walking or feet or, she talks about, her legs and stuff and, walking up and down. And she got Nyla. So you got to walk up and down the stairs with Nyla. I understand that. But where was the steak sitting at? Were they at UPS in a freezer? Were they in a box downstairs in the lobby? Was they behind the receptionist desk at the apartments? Was the maintenance man keeping them in the break room? Like, where was the steaks at? Because Bree and them said them steaks was gray. And I ain't never seen a gray piece of meat. Not a steak, not a pork chop, not a feather bone. Oh, y'all probably don't know about some feather bones. That's a Midwest thing. So good. So good. Thank you. The Postal Service ain't worried about keeping nothing cold, child. But when Mother says she's over there getting mad cows, now it makes sense. Now you saw it, Peace Cobbler. You said they was gray as fuck. Child. Yo. Child. You know what? Okay. The last thing I want to say is when I was over there, when I tell you that video was funny, y'all got to go back and watch Lady Nika's because I'm not giving y'all everything. I just took a few notes here and there. But that shit was funny. Lady Nika had a good show. Brianna and that damn Lemon had me cracking up though. But Mother, I guess they was talking about Saucy and some other things about people getting drunk. Because Bree, they was talking about why you allow yourself to get so drunk to where, you get angry, you're cursing out people, you're falling asleep online. And I actually added that last part on there, to falling asleep. But Bree said, why you get so drunk and you cursing, you getting angry, and I added falling asleep online. And Mother said, well, who else be spilling all their tea when they get, lit or whatever? And they was talking about, just spilling tea when you're getting lit, or I don't know. And Bree said, who, Dimples? I was like, what? Bitch. Somehow I knew that wasn't the answer, Bree. She blurted it out so fast. Bree was like, who, Dimples? I was like, what the? Mother was talking about cokeheads. Mother was talking about cokeheads. See, when people, they be on that coke, they get to talking and running their lips and spilling all their damn tea, and Bree blurted out Dimples. But Mother was talking about cokeheads, and Bree asked Lemon, who on YouTube do you think could possibly do drugs? Who on YouTube? Now, y'all answer that question too. Did y'all answer that question in Lady Nika's chat? You said the steaks were the same color as her fingernails. I'm done with y'all. Okay, after this, I'm done with y'all. I'm going back to being lazy this Sunday. And I'm going back to binge watching Average Joe on Paramount TV. Okay? But, okay. And y'all make sure y'all liking and sharing the video, please, and thank you. If you want to donate, feel free. $sign the hood table 402. Or you can send a good old nasty piece of cash out. But Bree was saying Dimples, Mother was saying cokeheads, then Bree asked Lemon, who on YouTube do you think could possibly do drugs? And Lemon was like, let me ponder on this. He said, well, she's not in her 40s, but she's in her mid-30s. And Bree was like, huh? What? Because Bree, I guess, was on a totally different page than Lemon. Bree was on a totally different page than Lemon. Lemon was like, she's not in her 40s. Now, this who Lemon thinking of, who could possibly be doing drugs right now in the YouTube sector, B sector. So Lemon said she's not in her 40s, but she's in her mid-30s. And Bree was like, what? We ain't thinking about the same person. And Bree was like, now I'm interested. What the fuck? Who the fuck you talking about? And he was like, no. You go first. Bree was like, no, you go first. He was like, no, you go first. Bree said TG. One of the twins. Bree said TG. You know what Lemon said? And mind you, I promise you, I already knew who Lemon was going to say. As soon as he was talking about not in her 40s, but in her mid-30s, I already knew who he was going to say. So Bree said TG, and Lemon said dragons. And I'm gonna leave that right there. Again, like and share the video, please, and thank you very much. Again, Riggs and I are not going to be live tonight. I did announce that at the beginning of the chat. He did also post it on his community wall because he's hanging out with his son this weekend out of town. You said, whoa. Yes, he said dragons. I'm like, wait till dragons here. The dragons gonna, child, it's about to be another back and forth between dragons and they like literally, child, they is off and on. Yeah, we're used to it. But I have a feeling that Dragon's gonna get his ass for that one. Definitely gonna get his ass for that one. But yeah, as far as from the block to the hood table with Riggs and I, we'll be back next week on his show Sunday night for from the block to the hood table on Riggs panel next week because again he's out of town with his son this week. You said Lemon and Dragons need to just say what it is and stop playing in each other's faces. They don't like each other. Child, Peach Cobbler, I always say it's all for the content, child. It's all for the content. But you know what? Speaking of content, now, hold on, let me go over here. Let me go to somebody's channel real quick. Because somebody's supposed to be doing some content. Okay, it's scheduled. I was about to say. I had saw a post earlier from somebody saying they'd be live in a few hours, and that was over 4 hours ago. And I have to be honest and say that I didn't go live right away because I was trying to make sure I didn't miss stay live. But after a few hours had passed, I said, you know what? Let me just get in where I fit in. If I'm late to that person's live, I just catch the replay. But Rick Reed had posted 4 hours ago that he was going to be going live in a few hours. I just checked. He still ain't live yet, but he do have a video posted. He has a live scheduled for 7:30 p.m. So that's about 33 minutes from now. So I'm going to get around here, get real relaxed. I'm going to get back to binge watching my TV show on Paramount, Average Joe. The people who follow Dion Cole, the comedian. Dion Cole stars in the show Average Joe on Paramount, and it's on season 2. Season 1 was so good, I couldn't wait till season 2 started. And it took several years, but now season 2 is actually on. And what did I do? Since it's been 2 years since season 1, I went back and I binge watched every show from season 1. I do that sometime because when TV shows go, it's one thing if they go 6 months or 8 months or something like that before the next season, but when they go years and they expect you to remember every damn thing I think they do that shit on purpose too, to get them clicks and views from the previous seasons because they know that some people might want to rewatch, down the replay on some of that shit because we forget. So I'm up here when I tell y'all, if y'all ain't watched Average Joe with Dion Cole, it's a really good TV series show on Paramount. I am enjoying season 1, watching it all over again so much. And I'm almost about to start season 2. And I think season 2 is only on episode 3. So if you binge watch season 1, they're not that far into season 2 yet. So you won't be too far behind. But yeah, so you said Lemon and Dragons need to just say what just get it off the chest, right? Just get it off their chest. You waiting on him too? Hey, uppity ups, how you doing, boo? We was just over here giving some commentary on the commentary, okay? Because as I said earlier, I didn't get to see all the video of Jay Dunn's of You and Lovely Love. I was in and out. But we was doing commentary on the commentary that was done on y'all video. But yeah, so I know you guys both worked really hard, tried really hard for your contest. Lovely Love won. I wish there was like a second place or something like that, but Jay Dunn already split it down the middle, so y'all get paid anyway. So even though Lovely Love takes the title, y'all still got it split in half. So I don't even know how that really works if they both got split in half the money from the pot. But Lovely Love still won. So that's the weirdness of that part. And that's why some people were saying Jay Dunn should know how it feels right now because she was accusing, Mo Better of scamming. Where my scamming ass bitches at? Hey, spin that shit, spin that shit, spin that shit. But yeah, they said they should know that she should know how I feel because now people is coming at Jay, accusing her running some type of I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, that's all I got, child. That's all I got. Uh oh. I was just about to get out of here, but we got a guest. Hold on, let me pull up my picture. What up, though?
Hey, what up, what up? How you guys
Hey,
doing?
how you doing?
Yeah,
Did you have fun doing the contest or the
yes,
challenge?
I did. Yes, I did. It was basically a cook-off. It was supposed to, like, in the beginning, it wasn't really about money. What happened, the thing with her getting kicked off the contest. So, Lovely Love, she said she wanted to earn some money. That's why she was in the competition. So I told Lovely Love, well, since instead of her begging to be a part of it, we could do our own cook-off. And
Yeah, I
because we're
remember
doing a
that because we
cook-off,
had first discussed it on my panel with Jay Dunn.
yeah. So I'm
Remember?
like,
Hmm.
yeah, so that's why Jay Dunn said she did a pop, but she basically was feeling like it was too much. People trying to sabotage everything that was going on, so she didn't want to do it. So she basically quit the idea, and then she gave the money that was already sent to her. So I would give you, and even you, when you did your contest, you was very honest as well. So she wanted full transparency because she does talk a lot,
Hmm.
and the people she talking about, they do suspect behavior. So she showed all the cash out because she already told me in behind the scenes who she was going to reach out to for like
Hmm.
donations and stuff, and she
Yep.
made them know that it was for us. So that's why she split the money because the people gave the money because they wanted to support me and Lovely Love. And being that she didn't want to do it anymore, she took the money that was already given to her and she split it in half. And then she came to me and she said, you know what? I still do want to host it, but now that there's no money involved, maybe people will leave this alone over KCB. So
Right.
I still want to host it. Then she went back and said she did, then she did, then she did. So eventually she did, and it came out great. But it wasn't no scam. But see, like Mo Better when she did, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if Mo Better raised the pot in the B sector. So I don't know because if it was her money, I guess only. But they were contestants. I think that's what the thing. No contestant like me and Lovely Love wasn't mad about the situation. With Mobetta, she had rules, and people were saying like, "Can I just upload a song and no visuals?" And she said no. In order to enter this contest, you have to have both. And she had been promoting it forever. Everybody had their entries in by a certain time. They had to, make her know they was gonna be a part of it. Then the day of the contest. And I like the concept at first because she said to be fair, I'm not going to say whose is who, so that way favoritism don't get it. But I'm like, oh wow, this is good, starting off on a good foot. But then Poverty and was Lady Nico was on the panel, and that's why people thought it was suspicious because Poverty is supposed to be a judge, but I guess they thought that'd been too obvious. So it was Lady Nico up there. She's like, oh, Slapper, and mind you, he's not even from the B sector. He's down there. He want to enter his song, but he don't got no visuals. So he entered at the last minute, and he didn't even have the things that because a lot of other people wanted to enter, but maybe they didn't know how to do visuals, so they were denied. So he was allowed to enter at the last minute and not have no visuals. And then when he finally did do some visuals, he copied off of other contestants. So not only did he come in last, didn't do the contest correctly, but he wound up walking away with first place. So that's why things were said. Don't you think that's crazy? Hotep, you there? Or maybe she stepped away. Hey, Sassy Francis, boo. But yeah, and we all know Poverty be scamming, so that'll go without saying. But my thing is, I don't know if it was her money or not. So I mean, if it's her money, she could do what she want with it. But I don't know. But the contestants were upset about that situation. They felt like it wasn't fair to them. Cause hey, you there? I don't know what happened to her. Anyway, while she stepped away, I guess. How you guys doing? As you guys can see, the contest is over, but my steak is still so famous. People are still so pressed and jealous. Oh yeah, and I think you addressed the steak. What happened was the lady ordered it for me. I was supposed to receive it on a Wednesday.
Hello?
Oh yes, you back? Hey.
Oh, thank you. I don't know what happened to the sound. I was up there saying hello. Oh, now I got some
Yeah, I'm
feedback
like,
from you.
hello.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, my bad. I don't know what was going on with the sound, but yeah, see, again, I was in and out uppity, so I was doing commentary on the commentary, and they were saying the steak was gray and that it had been sitting 3 days or
No, it was
something.
no. The steak wasn't. What happened was UPS was supposed to deliver it on Wednesday, and they didn't want to come because my elevator was broken. And I told them that, so that's why I told them when they come, let me know, and I'll come downstairs. Either that, or they could leave it by like my mailbox because my building is very secure. You know, so they didn't want to do that. They kept playing games, and I had to we had to really because the steak was like over $100 a piece. So finally, after much cursing them out, because they had me in the house for 3 days waiting for them not to come, they kept lying, saying it was a issue, and it was no. New York had no weather issues. It was hot as hell. But eventually, they gave it to me at 3:30,
Hmm.
and the competition started at 5. So as soon as I got it, I put it in the refrigerator. It came in a little cooler thing. I took that out and I rinsed it off. But the steak wasn't great. They just jealous of my $100 steak. They even was going on. It's like, so, oh, there's steaks for 49. If there is, it's a sell, but that's not how much mine's cost.
Yeah, I
And it
saw
wasn't a rib.
audio. Well, I didn't see it, but I heard that they said audio went online and found something for like $40.
He's a liar, probably. Nobody seen it. But I know it wasn't my ribeye steak. So she bought me two. They just jealous because she bought me two $100 steaks, and then she bought me the truffle oil and stuff like that. And look at him; he looked like he need a sandwich. But yeah, my steaks are very like popular. Like they so mad and jealous about this steak, and then he had other people tell him you was supposed to tenderize it. You was supposed to poke holes in it. Like, have y'all never had expensive steak before? Like I've had expensive steak before. I just never had Wagyu steak, And you're not supposed to poke holes in steaks, like that's common knowledge, I would think, because you're gonna release this natural juices, whatever type of steak it is. The only time I think it's appropriate to like poke holes in the steak would be like the beef rut chuck. You know what I'm saying? But any other steak, I don't see why would you do that. But yeah, so I had to put up a short because people just they want something to say to me. They want something to say
Hmm.
about me. They
Hmm.
wanted to make a big deal about this steak situation. But yeah, they literally just gave it to me and I had to fight for it. You know what I'm saying? I told them I had an event at 3 o'clock. They've been holding my steak. It's perishable for damn near 3 days now. And so I
So
said I need my steak back.
even after 3 days, it was totally fine. Like it was it super cold? Was it froze? Was it?
It was I don't know how they sent it because obviously it had for 3 days, but it came in like a little cooler and it had like these little pockets, so it was still cool to the touch or whatever. And I smelt it and everything because I rinsed it off and I showed them how it looked in the baggie. Then I smelt it when I rinsed it off. The steak was still a good color because I wasn't gonna eat nothing that's gonna harm myself. And it still
Yeah.
came out good. What happened? Yeah, because I was rushing and like they really held me up in the house waiting for 3 days in a row for them not to deliver anything. And UPS could come up to 9 o'clock at night. So a lot of times when I was supposed to go the Saturday, I said I have to go outside because there was still some other stuff I had to get for the contest or whatever. And I forgot because so much was going on. I meant to get an extension cord because when I tried the products on my kitchen island,
Oh, I
it
did hear
was the
you say
cord.
something about a stench core, and newbie took points off. Well, I won't say she took points off, but she did say she felt like you should have had a stench cord. When she was
Yeah, I didn't
talking about
understand that.
presentation or something.
Yeah, I mean, like, what was to be the difference? The only difference would be the placement of my kitchen island. But yeah, my cord, the way that in order to reach the outlets, if I would have stayed by my kitchen, the cords wasn't they were too short because you got the regular islands. I mean, you got your regular kitchen countertops, and the sockets is all the way in the back wall, so it wasn't going to be able to reach. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay. And I
Yeah.
know with the lighting in my kitchen is messed up. So I said, let me just go over here. But the only space I could do was right up under the damn fire thing. So I had to turn the grill down at some points.
And you got that fire alarm situated.
Yes, yes.
I was like,
I've been
they
changed
made
my
it sound like
battery.
you was about to burn the place down. And hey,
No, it's
Corio.
just because I was
Hey.
Hey.
I'm sorry, Uppity. Go ahead, babe.
Hey, uppity.
Yeah, you fine. So yeah, I was cooking because I had the grill thing on. I was like, I wanted to use the grill because I could grill my steak. I grilled my asparagus on there, and also like for my hors d'oeuvres, I could put them underneath the grill because when it was cooking on top, I could put it in the bottom so it could finish charring. It was like trying to be multi-purposes, especially since we had an hour. And I had misread the thing because she brought me an ice cream machine. I was gonna make some truffle honey ice cream. But I did make the ice cream, but you know what? I had forgot to put the spoon on there, the thing that makes it whip. And
Oh, you
I missed,
did? Oh no! So how did
yeah.
you whip it?
No, the bottom was kind of whipped, the top wasn't. So I just scraped it out, put it in the freezer. It's probably good now. Actually, I should
Oh
check it.
Lord!
But,
Oh Lord!
but
Well,
yeah,
hold on. You got to answer this, Uppity. Somebody said you was putting salt on the strawberries.
yeah, they asked me did I, because the ice cream wasn't coming out. So I had some chocolate covered strawberries in the, freezer. So I said, let me just put this out. And because you're supposed to have cooked it, I just sprinkled some sea salt on it. Chocolate and
But you
sea
On
know
the
salt goes
what?
together.
strawberries?
I got that
Yeah,
because that's like eating chocolate covered
yeah,
salted pretzels.
yeah.
I have
So
never
Yeah, that's the
heard of
I
that.
thing.
got that. I like sweet and
Yeah, that's the
savory.
thing. That is the
I
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, it's a
never
sweet
would have
savory
thought
thing.
to put salt on because even if you put it on the chocolate is kind of settled and kind of hard. So don't the salt just fall off?
Well,
No,
Or are you
no, it
talking
was
about when
like
you
you see
bite inside of it?
no, it was on top. It was because it was kind of wet, so the sauce are real flaky,
Oh,
so
okay.
it
So
real
you
thin
didn't wait
flake.
till it hardened. You drizzled it in
Yeah.
the chocolate and then put the salt on immediately.
No, no, they was pre-made strawberries. They was in my freezer, so they was a little bit wet. So I just
Oh,
sprinkled
okay,
a little
my
sea
bad.
salt
I'm
on it.
thinking fresh
Yeah.
strawberries because I make mine fresh when I'm selling them to people, but I make mine fresh.
Okay.
So that's why. Okay, that's why it wasn't making sense to me. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. Yeah, but
My
that's the
I
bad.
thing though. You can look it
I
up.
I
That's the
figured a
thing.
lot of people didn't get that salt on the chocolate because I was like, that's probably good. Because I like
It
chocolate
is.
covered salted pretzels. Yeah.
I didn't
Yes.
get it
It
at
is
Yeah.
good.
all because I make that's one of that's on my line of things with my cake business. Chocolate covered strawberries,
Yeah.
crispies,
Yeah.
pretzels, whatever. And
Right.
I've never thought to put salt on it, like sea
You
salt.
gotta try it. Do a little
I
batch for your house
am.
and try
I
it. See how much
am.
you
I
like it.
promise you.
Watch it elevate the flavor so much. I promise you.
You
I
I've
know,
done it
promise
when I
you
made
I'm
my
gonna
own
try it
chocolate cake.
too.
Yeah,
I was
I
it
promise
does.
you
so
I'm gonna try it. Yep.
I was so upset. I was like, why didn't she start the ice cream while she was
I
doing the
should
other
have.
stuff? I wanted that ice cream so bad. I love vanilla bean ice cream.
Yeah, I had my vanilla bean paste and everything.
You
Everything was
Hmm.
did.
high ingredients.
Oh,
You
and
did.
Sassy said, "How was your day, uppity?"
Oh, my day was good, boo. How was yours? I did a live this morning. It was very, very funny. You guys have to check it out. Miss
I'm gonna
What?
check it
Virginia
out.
and Love Miss Virginia and Lovely Love is hilarious. Y'all know Miss Virginia don't be arguing with nobody, and Lovely Love be determined to argue with the world. So that was hilarious how she would not feed into her. Because every time Lovely Love tried to make argue, he's like, "I'm not talking to you."
Well, what time did you go live? Because I didn't get to watch a lot today because I had my baby till he literally left probably like an hour before I went live. But so that's why I've
I
been
went
in and
live
out
in
of
the
shit. I've been
morning.
in and out of shit for the last few days because he be here on the weekends. But
Yeah, yeah. I tried to go live when she's sleeping, so she was asleep because she was up late, and she even enjoyed the steak because what I was doing on
I
my
was gonna
regular
ask you
stove.
that. Like, did she eat it?
Yeah, she ate it. I had made her some corn on a cob and mashed potato to go with hers. I knew she wasn't gonna
Mm.
eat the asparagus or the like the hors d'oeuvres I made, so I was making her. I just made her. I gave her a piece and she ate it. So I knew I didn't have to make another meat. So I just
Mm-hmm.
made
Mm.
I boiled the potato and mashed it up with her and some corn on the cob, and so she ate like she ate like half the steak and then the mashed potato and corn. She loved it. She liked
That's
it.
good. Hey, Smooth Carter, how you doing?
No, uppity? Was the lobster tail your hors d'oeuvre? I can't remember.
No, it
No,
was
that was.
it was a part of my entry. I was doing a surf and turf keto style. So instead of
Mm-hmm.
having it starch, I did the lobster tail with the steak and then the grilled asparagus.
Okay, so you didn't
Mhm.
have an hors d'oeuvre. I can't
No, my hors
remember.
d'oeuvre was the beef turnovers, the wagyu beef turnovers, and also the stuffed dates. I stuffed the dates with goat
That's
goat
right.
cheese that had hot honey in it.
Now I
Honey
had
goat
never
cheese and
heard of
stuff.
that before, but when I was going back and red balling to just certain areas of the video, I heard something about
Um,
the dates.
I remember now. Yeah. I love
Yeah,
a
that was
date.
very interesting because again, I keep saying I'm not a steak person. So I wouldn't even been able to judge on no steaks or nothing like that because I don't really fuck with steaks. But it's nice for y'all to try something, different or go out of your what do you call it? Go out of your comfort
yeah, we
zone.
were supposed to do fine dining. We were supposed to be doing like a 3 course
Right,
meal,
right.
like if
And
you
I'm
was
not
at a
a
fine
fine
dining.
dining
Yeah,
eater. So I
yeah.
gotta give kudos to you and Lovely Love because I'm not a
Hmm.
fine dining cooker. I'm a fine dining eater, but I'm not a
Uh huh.
fine dining cooker. I'm a fine,
Right,
I can elevate on some cakes and desserts and shit like that. But
right,
regular
right.
cooking, I can cook, but I don't slay like that. So I
Me
want to
either.
give you and Lovely Love, both y'all
Hmm.
kudos.
I
Hmm.
Because
appreciate that.
even with that, like one thing I can say about all these challenges, and I'm sure Corio can agree, when they put you on a time limit, that can
Yeah.
be very nerve wracking. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know how y'all be sitting there like y'all don't be acting nervous. Y'all don't be like, I'll be like probably dropping shit.
Enjoy it. I love stuff like that. I really do. I'm the one that was trying to encourage you to do it because I watch cooking shows all the time and I'm constantly trying new recipes and stuff like that. That's why I love when like my older kids come over because Nala could be a picky eater. Sometimes she'll get into it, but most times she won't. So I could try things out because I know they'll be honest with me. Okay, you need to do this or add a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Uh-huh.
refurbish because I do eventually want to have like a small catering business.
And you can do it. I mean, when I first started off uppity, and you might have heard this story before, Corey already know it. But when I first started off, it was because my mother had passed and she had did all the desserts for every holiday, birthdays, all that, right? So that's when I started getting into the cake. But I was just doing it for my kids. I had never made a cake before in my life before my mother died. Not even a box cake, Cuppy. I mean, uppity. Not even a box cake. Never. And so
Oh
I started
wow.
making cakes. And then people was like enjoying them. And I started making them for just the holidays or to take to somebody's house if they were doing something. And people was enjoying them and said I should get into it. And I'm not a cake eater. So what I did, you know who was testing out most of my shit? It was my kids. They was
Hmm.
testing out most
Right.
of my shit and my family and friends, and I would take like cupcakes to everywhere from the gas stations to nail salons to church to work to nursing homes to schools, and my boys play sports. I would take shit after school. They finish a game. Here's some cupcakes, y'all. I mean,
Hmm.
that's how I got
Yeah,
into it, and
that's what
that's
I
how I
do.
got all my flavors that I in my line. Everything that people really liked, I added to my line, and that's how even to this day I can make cakes and all that shit. I don't taste shit uppity. I don't
Which
taste
one
the
you want?
frosting. I don't taste the cake. I know it works. My ingredients, my recipes work. So
Right.
sometimes, when you have your daughter or whoever, take shit out. You got your neighbors, let them try stuff. Make little bitty plates and chop shit up like they do at the stores and
Hmm.
Right,
stuff
right.
like that. You want to
Sample
get the
plate,
word out.
sample
Get
plate.
the word out. Yeah, get the
Yeah,
word
when
out.
I
So
when I used to live in the project, I used to sell dinners at like
yeah,
whatever I
there
had
you
left
go.
over for dinner, cause the guys that be on the block all night. Once a certain time hit, like all the stores was mostly all the food restaurants was closed. You had to walk farther away. Only thing that was really like the stores they cut their grill off, so they only had cold sandwiches. So I started selling them plates or whatever I had left over and stuff. Cause my kids, this when my older kids was little, they didn't really like leftovers like that unless it was spaghetti. So I used to just sell them the plates every night to the day. Like I started making
Hmm.
more on purpose because they like on the days I didn't have any, they was knocking on my door like, "What you got? What you selling today?" I'm like, you know what? Let me,
Hmm.
start doing more.
Now,
That's how a
uppity.
lot of people get started.
This one I always wondered. Did you like do a practice run? I know you couldn't use your steaks for that, but did you kind of do a practice run, or you just did it? You knew what you wanted and you did it exactly when the competition started.
Yeah, I did it exactly, but I should have did a practice one
Wow.
with the phyllo dough. I thought it would have been more simpler, but I didn't realize how because I had never used phyllo dough before. I didn't realize how sensitive it was, and it was breaking apart. So my plan was to initially make individual little ones, but when the dough kept breaking up like that, I just let me just and the time was running out. I was like, let me just do a whole one and try to cut it pretty And then when I took it out the air fryer, I was still looking kind of light skinned. So I was like, I'm gonna put it underneath the broiler and try to get some color to it. But because of how fat they was, the skin was kind of sticking and it was breaking up. So it was like, well.
Is that why
And
they
then I
were
had
saying it was gray? Because it was light skin, or because of?
the mistake
That
wasn't
might
great.
have
What
been
happened
why they
was
were thinking it was gray. Yeah.
the steak, it was sizzling and making grill mess at first, but then the fire alarm started going on. So I had to turn it down. When I went to the other side, then my phone, because it was right over the grill, it wasn't even charging no more. It was connected to the ring light. It was overheated. It just kicked me off the live, wouldn't even let me get
You
back
sure
in
did.
phone.
I
So I
remember
had to put
that.
my phone in the refrigerator for like 5 minutes and then come back. But I was
I
still
remember.
like doing my
Yeah,
it was a lot. I was like, oh my God.
because
Oh my
But it
God,
went,
that's
it
a
don't like
lot.
that.
everybody was joking, talking about she getting her DoorDash right now.
I was like, see, I wasn't there. I came back. When I
Oh.
came back, people were saying. When I came back, people were saying the fire alarm was going off. Did you really have the battery in the wrong way? Like, what the fuck happened
Oh
with the
yeah,
fire
yeah. I
alarm?
told that story. Remember, I think I was on your panel when I was talking about the fire alarm and they was explaining how it was done. But anyway, yeah, because it kept beeping. I didn't understand why. So it wasn't today. It was a while ago when it happened. I called my super, and when he came up here, I was telling him like this. I bought new batteries, but it still keep beeping. I don't know what's going on. So he took the thing and he was like, "Oh, you had the batteries in backwards." So he flipped it around and then he put it back up on the base for me. That was it. And as you guys can see, I no longer have a beeping sound. But that was a while
You sure
ago.
don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
because see, I never like when I used to live in apartments and stuff, they would like come out and do that shit. Like sometimes they would come out and because they wanted to make sure your shit was working. Because not only is it
Mm-hmm.
going to save you, but it's going to save their property.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know
No,
what
I
I'm
told
saying?
when I first moved in here, the battery is immediately beeping because I feel like once you get a new tenant, you should have changed the battery and everything. And it looked like it was like a lot of black smoke on it. So I don't know what they had going on with that goddamn thing. But I just told him he was like, "Well, you need to buy a battery." And I'm looking like, well, usually
Mm-hmm.
that's what supers do, but I guess they different. So whatever. I went and bought me, but I would keep forgetting, and I didn't know how the battery looked. So one day I had to get it. I had bought me a step ladder. I got up there and took it down, seen what type of battery it was. And I finally remember when I went outside, like take the battery with me so I can get, replace it. And I made sure I bought me a high quality battery. So,
Mm-hmm. Now,
Hmm.
look, did y'all talk about Jay Dunn's production?
yes, it was
Her
beautiful. It
what?
was really nice.
The production was out of this world. Jay Dunn did
Yeah, she
that.
did the thing. Yeah, she did
She,
a
I
good job.
mean, like, it was just, I mean, she did one like separate for Uppity Cooking. Then she did one for Lovely Love Cooking. Then she had one with Zulu. And it was just
Mhm.
really
Then
top
she had one
tier.
for the beginning, one for the ending of the
She
show.
sure
She even
did.
had
She
one for the
sure did.
break, commercial break. Yeah.
She did. She did that. I
He put a
mean,
lot of effort into this, so I'm
she
glad,
really
we
did.
was able to do it. And we wanted to do it because people wanted to see us do a cook-off. So even though we
Hmm.
did get the money, people they still wanted to see it. So that's why we was gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, and shout out to Jay Dunn. And hey, Room Shaker, how you doing, beautiful? Shout out to Jay Dunn as well.
Yeah,
Because even with all the, what do you call it, choreo? Adversary?
adversity.
Adverse. Even with
That's
all the
okay.
adversity,
That's okay. Go ahead. We know.
she still pulled off a challenge.
And I think that personally, and I know they can't do this for other competitions. I know it won't. You got to have a winner and stuff normally. But I don't know. It was just something about the money was split down the middle. Everybody got their food. And so it wasn't that pressure. You could just sit back. I know I just
And
sat
have
back
fun
and
with it.
enjoyed it. Right.
Yeah,
You
we have
know?
fun with it. And people who
Yeah.
wanted to donate, they just donated if they wanted to. And
Right.
like I
Mm-hmm.
And
said, the
then you
whole
can just get
purpose.
cash apps afterwards or during the
Right.
show if people want to donate.
Yeah,
It was
so it was
I could
I
never. I'm
enjoyed
gonna
it.
tell you, I could never. And Choreo knows. I just said it before. I could never. I will never do a challenge because it seems like a lot of work. And then not only is it a lot of work, but sometimes things could go left, and then people drag you about the challenges. I'm like, I don't. Mm-mm.
yeah.
I'm gonna stay
They
out
too
of that's
busy
not my
looking all in
lane.
your house. They were so busy that they were so determined to see stuff in my house. I heard somebody saying how I had flip chairs. I'm like, girl, that was a whole $70 3-step ladder. Like there was not no chair. Like, but
Hey
whatever.
Dion. Dion says shout out to Jay Dunn and the ladies who did a great
They
job. Hey
did do
Dion.
it.
Thank
It
you.
really was nice. I mean,
I
but
enjoyed it. I enjoyed
Jay Dunn
myself.
does
I'm
that
glad.
for a living, though. That
Yes.
production
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff. So
Mhm.
you could tell if people had
And then
doubts.
Mhm.
and she's
Hmm.
friend with Trig, who's really good with AI as well,
Oh
because
yeah,
he
Trey,
Oh,
but
made.
remember Corio, and remember was you here? No. You weren't here that day, uppity, when Lovely Love was on the panel and Trees dropped down in the chat. And J Dub was on our panel and she said, Lovely Love, I need you to say 5 times. Y'all know you're lying to me.
oh,
Because
so
he was using that for the
For her
okay.
special song. Jay Dunn told the story. She was like,
yeah.
yeah, he asked me for clips of it, but I caught her on the hood table, so I just had her repeat it right there. And hood table was looking at me like, what is going on here?
Yeah. Did
Because
you?
first of all, Lovely Love was trying to sing it. She was like,
Mhm.
I know you're lying to me. And we was like, nah, Lovely. That ain't how you first started
Yeah.
saying that shit.
Yeah. This ain't the time to put some stank
Then
on
we
it.
ain't trying
Just
to put no
say
sauce on this shit.
it.
Do it the original way. I know you lying to me. That's how she used to say it.
Yeah. It
Right,
was.
right,
Because
right.
that's where I get it from. When I be saying it, that's where I get it from.
As far as the production, I mean, I don't think that. Well, they might now since the AI has started and everybody's doing it, but I think Mo Betta and I was gonna say uppity. Jay Dunn, with the I guess Mo Betta's wasn't really production, but that was just part of the challenge, right?
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
what I was telling her earlier because she was saying, because I was telling hood table, Jay Dunn was saying it was a scam because she had said that she wanted people to basically create her intro for
Yeah.
her channel, and she said they had to use graphics because people wanted to. I guess I don't know how to do any of it, but I'm guessing some people only know how to do the audio and not the graphic. You know, Nala. So she was saying no, they can't. They have to do both, and then they were supposed to have registered for the contest, and then this guy that's supposed to be Poverty's boyfriend, he came in the day of the contest, and it was allowed to submit something without any graphics, and took first place. So her actual contestants were mad, and J Dunn pointed out that she went against her own rules, which she admitted to, and she apologized. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It was her first time.
yeah,
Everybody's first time is kind of messed up. But except for Jay Dunn's, she did it.
yeah,
I'm
right, yeah.
sorry, she did that. I mean, I was sitting there like, wow, Jay
Yeah.
Dunn. It was top tier. It really was.
Yeah, I didn't even know how many people we had in there or nothing. I couldn't even see the chat. I was so busy trying to make
It
sure
was a
like I finished
lot.
in time.
It was
I
a
see
lot.
when I got down.
And you
When
know
I
what
got down,
else
it
I
was
like?
650.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly. I like that she had the scorecards. That
Right.
made it very good, 1 to 5, and then she had each category that her and lovely that uppity and lovely love were going to be scored on, and she showed the scorecard, so everybody knew what everybody was going to be judged on, so it wasn't any room for too much. What do I want to say? It made it really cut and dry on what you were
Right,
basing it on.
exactly.
And so, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, she really thought it through. She really did. It was
She
top
did.
tier. It really was.
And she is
Yeah, she
really
took
good with those
her
productions. Like, look at all the videos and the intro she be having, even with her dog, like Zulu.
right. Yeah, them little Zulu things. Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah, she does a great job with all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Charlie
took her
did the
tunnel vision
music.
and put it in a positive thing.
Yeah.
She took
Charlie
her
did the
tunnel vision.
music for her.
Oh yeah, I heard Charlie
Her
had been doing a lot of
intro.
people music.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Charlie
yeah.
be hooking me and Riggs up and other people. I be telling people don't sleep on Charlie. Like,
Mm-mm.
like when she first started off, she was good, but she's getting better and better and better. You know what I'm
Is
saying?
there like a
And I love
program?
her work.
what's the name of the program that everybody's using, like for the pictures and
Oh
Well,
yeah,
there's
I don't know.
some people use a chat GPT for like the pictures, but
Oh, okay.
there's another site or another app that they actually use for the intros, and I don't know what it is. I mean, I didn't heard
Mhm.
them speak on it before, but I don't remember.
Mhm. Is Chat GPT free? Because I don't.
It's free for like a certain amount of time. Like you can do so many. Like
Oh,
let's
okay.
say you just go in there for the first time, you can try like 5 different times to make an image. After that, they're gonna say you need to create an account because
Okay.
you can
Yeah,
only do like 4 or 5 attempts of a to make an image a day. And if you
Okay.
have the
right.
membership, then you could do it's unlimited.
Oh,
But
And
okay.
you can
yeah,
even
so a
ask
lot
them
of
too
people
many
create a whole
questions.
bunch of accounts and they
Yeah,
do that. Like they
Oh,
create
okay.
like
yeah,
5, 10 accounts to do like 5 a day on this one, 5 a day on that one, five. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
and even if you got a question that has nothing to do with like images, they even cut you off at a certain amount of time. Like you need to upgrade your account
Yep.
if you want to
Oh,
continue
okay.
the conversation.
Oh,
But
okay.
I
They
myself
worse
think
than
it's worth it.
StreamYard.
I think it's worth it. I haven't actually signed up for it yet because I still get my freebies when I need to make a picture.
Mhm.
But I think Chat GPT is one of the best ones out there for making images or thumbnails or stuff like that. So some
Mhm.
people I'm sure are registered and they pay a monthly fee, but I just haven't done it yet.
Mhm. Hmm.
Yeah, I think I would
All
do it
right.
one side because I want to do some. I was just telling them on my live earlier. I think I want to take my backup channel and make that into like a children's channel where I'm making like children videos. Because I seen something on my IG. She said, "You know who get paid the most on YouTube? People who make children content." And she's like, "It's
Yeah.
so easy. You just gotta pick
Do
up
you
like
really want to
most."
put Nala on that though? Because you know how it
No,
goes.
no, it's just a cartoon. It's a made up cartoon. I can use
Oh,
her like
okay.
make it in
Okay.
likeliness of her, but it's a
Okay.
cartoon. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
just like yeah, because she said they get the most views
Yeah.
consistently and they make the most money. She said on
They
average, people
do.
who do strictly kids content, they on average get like 6 to 7 thousand a month.
They do, and
Oh.
I heard you, Uppity. Like I said, I've been in and out for the last 24 to 48
Mhm.
hours, but I heard you say that you really like Rachel. And I have to say, my grandson, who's super duper smart, most of the
Mhm.
content that we had him watching, because we didn't just let him just watch cartoons or he was always watching
Yeah, I'm the
learning
same.
channels. And
I'm the
Rachel,
same way. Yeah. Yeah, she's
Rachel
good.
helped teach him a lot. Even today, when he was over here today, after we ate breakfast, I was like, "What you want to watch? Ace, do you want to watch a movie or whatever, whatever?" He's like, "I want to watch Miss
Mhm.
Rachel." And mind you, he watches other people too, other content creators that teach kids.
Right.
But Miss Rachel has always been his favorite. And I know she's going through that shit. And I know you had mentioned that you were
Yeah.
supporting her because of the fact that she stepped up and she spoke out about the Nolan Wells situation. And a
Yeah.
lot of
Mhm.
people was
Yeah.
condemning her because
Yeah,
her speaking out
And
about that.
Carmelo Anthony
And
and
Carmel,
Carmelo
yeah,
Anthony as
right,
well.
right,
And a
right.
lot of white people started unsubscribing from her, which is messed up because I
Hmm.
learned like I don't know if you ever watched Gracie's Corner because they're like
Yeah, I like Gracie's
professional
Corner too.
education.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said the reason why like Coco Melon isn't good because they don't really pronounce their words. And that's bad when your kids are learning the speech and they're not learning the proper enunciation of the
Yeah, we
different
ain't
words.
really into Coco Melon, yeah.
Yes, you really gotta like I'm the same way. I don't like Nala watching anything that's not educational like that. So she loves Gracie Corner, even like, and I know Nala likes a lot of different like she'll sit there and watch stuff in different languages and stuff. So I even found like cartoons from different countries around the world, and they be like talking in their language, and I let her watch that as well because she's into that,
Well, you
whatever.
know
But
what? A lot of that stuff, I know back in the day we had like the Sesame Streets. We had the
right,
reading rainbows. We had shit like that, right?
yeah,
So I'm glad that they have a lot more platforms this day for young children because we as parents, yeah, we can sit home and we could, try to teach and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes with kids, even teenagers and grown adults, they listen more from other people. You know what I'm saying?
true.
Like you could tell them one thing and they'll not listen to you and turn around and somebody else can tell them the same damn thing. You know what I mean? But
And repetition
talk
is
less
best
for all
for
these
any
different
child.
platforms.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, but
right.
repetition is best for any child. It doesn't matter what their condition is. Constantly,
Absolutely.
constantly having it instilled in them is how it takes, you know? So
Education,
yeah.
education, let me tell y'all something, Corio. Let me tell you know what my grandson is into now?
Mm-mm.
Google Earth.
Oh Lord.
Do you
Oh
know?
wow, that's
I don't know
good.
how. And see, my son, his dad is into the Google Earth. Like his dad likes to. You seen those videos on like YouTube where they be like in the fancy neighborhoods or islands, and they be driving through, taking tours of the different
Mm-hmm.
roads and showing people's houses and mansions. You know, my oldest
Yeah.
son is into that shit, right? So he be watching his dad sometime when he be watching that shit on YouTube. And so somehow he found his way being interested into Google Earth. And so I will take like an address and put it in Google Earth that might not be, it might be a mile away from my house. Do you know he will find his way to my house?
Oh
And
wow, that's
he is
good.
5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
And the
that's
first
really
time he
good.
did that shit shocked the fuck out of me.
Let me.
Because he was up there, I'm at Yaya house. I'm at Yaya house. And I'm like, I know you at Yaya house. Hey, we at Yaya house. I'm all like, this baby talk. Hey, yeah, we at Yaya house. He was like, look, Yaya, here's your house. And I'm like, what? And he'll be like, I'm about to go to mommy house. And he'll go on that Google Earth and he'll push the arrows because he memorized the way his parents travel and the way I travel. And he memorized the streets and the neighborhoods. And next thing he'll know, hey, yeah, I'm at mommy house. I'm at
Oh.
dad house.
Oh wow.
Because he calls his home. He calls his home mommy and dad house. And he calls my home Yaya house. Then he calls his other grandma Mima house. So he'll go to Mima house because
Oh,
His Mima is literally, when I say maybe if you're driving in your car, she's probably 3 minutes away from me. Like she's straight up the
oh,
hill.
he got his whole
Like
village right
it's
around him.
it's
That's beautiful.
it's no turns or nothing uppity. You go outside my house and you go straight up the hill for like 2 minutes, and there's his Mima. Like
Oh,
no
that's
turns
Oh,
or
look at
good.
nothing. So
that.
he knows where Mima is and all that on Google Earth.
Let me
That's
tell you this
beautiful.
story.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin was married, and remember I told you the one that's been with her man for like 40 something years. They got
Mm-hmm.
since they were like 16 or whatever.
Yep. Like
So anyway,
teenagers. Yep.
yeah. So anyway, he remember I told you he worked in a halfway house uppity, and so people
Right.
on not probation but parole, you know how that goes. And so there
Yeah,
was this
yeah.
one girl, she came in there and she was bragging because she had went to prison for embezzlement. I told you this, hood table. And so anyway, she was bragging to him, yeah, when I get out of here, I got a stash of money. And so hearing that, my cousin came home from work one day and he had moved out, right? And he had took the TV, his clothes, and everything. And my cousin had just bought that TV, right? And so, so anyway, like a few weeks or whatever, he would come and get their daughter, and he would, take her over there, and this, that, and the other. So one day, I had went over to visit her because we were all like taking turns because it was kind of devastating for her. And so she's like, "You want to go with me?" To get my TV. And I was like, "Oh, do you know where he lives?" She's like, "No. Let's see if my daughter," she said she remembers. She was 7 years old. Do you know she took us on the freeway? We got off at the right exit. We drove through the neighborhood.
Wow.
We pulled at the apartment complex and pulled right. She said, "It's right here." My cousin Park knocked on the door. The woman answered the door. She's like, "I'm here to get my TV." She let my cousin in there to take the TV. She put it in the car and we drove off. So I know what you're
Wow.
saying. Kids are smart. Do you hear me?
They
I
are.
was
They
I
really
was
are.
amazed. I was like, "You remembered that?" She was like, "Uh-huh."
Well,
Yeah, all you
when
gotta
my
do is
sons
walk
were
them and they'll
small,
show you.
when
Mm-hmm.
my sons were small, like I want to say my oldest one was probably, I don't know, 5 or 6. when I started teaching him, and of course my other one is 4 years younger, so he was probably 1 or 2. Couldn't teach him nothing at that age, but nothing like this. But what I did was when my oldest one got 5 or 6, everywhere we went, Corio, what's the name of that street? Which way do we go? It don't matter if we was going to the dollar store, the grocery store, the post office, my mom's house, our cousin's house. I made them direct me starting at 5 and 6. So I'm glad that my grandson is into Google Earth and finding our homes on Google Earth. Like, that's crazy to me because back then my kids didn't have no Google Earth. It was me
Yeah, and
telling them,
he
okay, this
watches
way,
his
this way,
father.
this way.
But like you say, he watches his father, and parents they really do set the tone. Like when my kids was
Yeah, he
early, like
watches all of
I
us
oh
because we
yeah,
all have
yeah,
him like all the time. Like when we went to the meet and greet for the teacher day,
uh-huh,
the principal was giving out cards because you got to show like a card when you pick up your kid. And I said we need like
uh-huh.
5 of those. He said 5. I said yeah because it's at least 5 of us that might have to pick him up. So he said okay. He went back there and he made copies and he gave us 5. And so
That's
he gave
what's
us
up. He got
5 of
his
those
business.
things because we all be driving him around. But when my
Yeah.
boys was young, that's what I did. And I would sit there and I'd be like, which way am I supposed to go?
Mhm.
And they would be like, right, left. No, turn there, this light. And the reason why I did that was because back then, Corio, now, Uppity, you a little younger than us, I think. But back then, it was a lot of around the world kidnappings when we were
Yeah.
kids.
Um,
When we were kids, it was a lot of kidnappings.
yeah.
And if
That's
you
always
can, I mean,
been.
the John Walshes,
Yeah.
I mean, just all
Right,
the,
right.
yeah, right. So I always made sure my kids knew, even if we were way out west, you knew how to get home. You could tell the police where home was or tell
Yeah,
somebody where
tell
home was.
me, yeah, want to be able to tell your first and last name. That was
Right,
always my concern.
right.
But
Your
that's
first and
why. But I
last
don't
name.
let them
Yep,
go nowhere. But like, cause all
yep.
my people that I trust, they either done went on to glory or they done moved out of the state. You know what I'm saying? Or they no longer have small kids, so they live in their life. So it's like I trust you, but you probably not gonna have your head on a swivel like you used to when your kid was young and you were dating guys or whatever. So it's like, yeah. So I just
Girl,
say
you
keep
never know
taking
because my
sorry.
head is always on
Keep
a
yeah,
swivel.
yeah,
I'm like that way with all kids though. I mean, I don't know
yeah,
why, but I'm overprotective with not just mine, but with all
yeah.
kids. If I even
Yes,
see a
everybody
kid that
should
looks
be.
like they
Yeah,
hurt or look like
yeah,
they something going on, I will stop and I will help and I will reach
yeah.
out. Like, where's your mother?
Right.
What's your
Mhm.
name? You know, I'm that type of parent
What's
because
going on?
I grew up in that era where a lot of horrible things was happening to children across the world.
Right.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
So
Yeah.
saying?
uppity is now does Nala go to school or is she gonna start? Because she's what, 6? How old is Nala?
She's 7. Yeah, she
7.
was just in summer school. Summer school
Okay.
finished for her the 13th. So she
Okay.
go to school all year round. So now, like,
Okay.
I wanted to take her to the Rocking Ranch, but they been had like rooms filled up or whatever, like the smaller rooms. Like right
Mhm.
now, the only rooms they got available is like the larger room where you can fit up to like 6 people, and it's just me and her going, and they charge way more. So I'm like, because I wanted us to go for like 3 days and 2 nights, but they like damn near $4,000. But that's only because it's the
Dang.
bigger room, and that's
Okay.
Hey,
after they took a
Jackson
dollar
Free.
fifty. And that's after they took like a dollar, not dollar fee, $150 off the night. They trying to sell those rooms, but like the smaller rooms, they are all booked up. And I even left a deposit in case something open, I could get it first. But I just called this morning. They said nope, they still booked. That's all they got left. So I just took my deposit back, and we just gonna go back to Kalahari Resorts. And I said I'm gonna just try again when school start, because since I don't know what it is, but every time I turn around when they in school, they always got some type of long vacation every time you turn around. So I
Or
said next
Teacher's
time,
Day. They have more
right?
Teacher's Day
Yeah.
nowadays. We got like 1 or 2 per year back
True,
in the
right.
day. Every time you turn around, it's like, what?
They out of school for
Mhm.
something. I'm like, oh my God. But
Uh,
yeah, but so I just said we can't go to the I really wanted her to go though, but we're gonna go to the Kalahari Resort.
mhm.
And maybe next time when she go back to school, I still want to take her there so she could get to ride horses, and they autism
Oh
friendly.
yeah.
Yeah, but she go to school. Yes, she's getting ready to go to the 3rd grade.
I
Yeah.
hope she's
Okay.
gonna be riding a baby horse.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
pony.
yeah,
Okay.
pony.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they gonna put her on. They gonna put her on a
Uh,
stallion and just hit its butt and let it
Yeah.
take all running.
yeah, because I'm
Her
scared.
and
I don't know
Uppity.
why horses terrify me, y'all. Horses really terrify me.
Oh, I
They
love
I
so
always
horses.
wanted to
big and
ride
they
a
so
horse.
strong and they so
Oh, my
like
dad had three. Oh, I used to love to
really?
go to. Yes, he had show horse. Well, two of them were show horses,
Oh my
and
gosh!
one
So
of
you
them.
used to ride horses, Scorio?
Oh, all the time. When I
But
used to
they're
go there,
expensive
they're
to
very
upkeep and everything.
expensive. Very
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah, so that's nice. You got to live with horses like that. The closest I went, when you was the school trip to the zoo, but
Mm-hmm.
I was too chubby to do the pony ride, so I didn't get to do it. I was mad, but yeah.
Oh.
Well, tell me your story about the horses, Corey. I want to hear.
He
Yeah.
had three. He had two show horses, and then he had one stallion. And so he would breed the stallion and make money off that. And then the two show horses, he didn't really do anything but pay for the training and pay for the rodeo costs and stuff. And but I didn't live in Dallas, so I didn't really get to do a lot. But when I would go visit, where he would board them, they had horses. They would let us ride because he had horses there that they took care of. But he would go out there like maybe 2 or 3 times a week, most times, see what's going on with them. But he would pay the people, and they would feed him and stuff, and let him go out in the
Mm-hmm.
pasture and stuff. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But growing up, you know how there's stables, because in the Midwest, there were, it's country. You have cities, and then you drive like 30
That's us.
miles, and you
That's
and you're in the
us
country.
in the
And
Midwest.
yeah, and so they would have stables and stuff, and he would take us horseback riding a lot. A lot. So yeah, I'm not
Mm,
scared of them. I've been thrown a couple times,
yeah.
but that scared me. They thought I had busted my pelvis one time.
Oh my
I
god.
was drunk. I was drunk. And
What?
so, yeah, I was drunk flying on that horse. I was getting it, girl. I was
So what do
getting
you
it.
call that? Okay, we got don't drink and drive. Don't text and
Like,
drive. What do you call that? Don't gallop and drive. What do
I was so drunk because we shouldn't have been out there. But this was in Dallas, and so my dad was out of town, and so I had flown in, and I was like, "Let's go ride, let's go." You
Oh
know,
Lord.
when you're drunk, you have great ideas, right? I'm like, "Let's go ride, let's go ride." So we drove out there, and we saddled him up and everything. Well, the people. You should have seen them white people giving us the side eye because we was laughing and loud. They knew we were drunk. And so we got on the horses. We riding. And so I was trying to go as fast as I could. And when we got to the fence, you pull back so the horse could stop. But we were going so fast that when he stopped, he kind of raised up in the front. And I flew right off the saddle and landed in the field, and they had to go. They called the ambulance. The ambulance had to drive out in the field and get me. And when we got to the emergency room, they gave me a shot of Demerol, and I was okay. I was even more
did you break
high.
anything?
No, I was okay. I was
Oh, that's
sore.
good.
I was
Yeah.
miserable, but I was okay. Yeah.
I'm up here pitching choreo up there.
Drunk. Oh, we were so drunk. Oh my God, we were so
Don't
drunk.
gallop and don't drink and gallop. That's what we
Oh,
gonna
my
call it.
dad was hot because they couldn't wait to tell him. Ooh, he was hot.
Feelings too. Animals they say like human. I watch I recently I've been watching because I watch all type of stuff, but I was watching horses give birth. When they give birth, they baby is like a preteen by the time it come out. It's
Girl,
crazy.
them babies is like
They
damn
are
near the
big.
size of a horse.
They
Them
are
babies
big.
be huge.
Humongous. Yeah. Yeah. I
And
see
they
a
come
couple.
out damn near walking. They might stumble for a little bit, but
Yeah. They got to get up and they got to move. I've
Move, yeah,
seen, I think maybe 2 or 3 born, and they stick their arms all up in there and stuff. It's like, ugh. But
yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
Ooh,
it's
Yeah.
disgusting. I seen one.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was watching something one time. It was an elephant. And I was like,
Ugh.
oh
They really got to get up and go because they're in
yeah.
the wild. Yeah.
And you gotta try not to kill
Now y'all gonna
yourself
make me
while
watch
you're
the
trying to
elephant. I don't think I've
deliver.
seen the elephant. I've seen frogs. I've seen monkeys. I don't think I've seen the elephant. I'm watching. I seen the pigs. Pigs produce a lot. Crazy.
Yeah.
Girl, them elephants, you gotta try not to get them to step all over you and fall on you while you trying to help them deliver.
Mm-mm,
And they be so
mm-mm,
big, like them things be like hundreds of pounds coming out.
But you think
Mm-mm.
about it, an elephant's what? About 3,000 pounds, 4,000 pounds, 6,000 pounds. Yeah. So
Woo.
that's really, when you put it like that, it's really not that big. A couple 100 pound baby flopping out. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember I used to always sit. Remember Channel well in New York City, Channel 13. It's like that free. Like I don't watch it. I hardly ever watch regular. I don't even know if it's still around. But you know how you got those free programs on the TV back when cable used to be a thing before it went like online. It was like this free program channel. They used to just show like nature in the wild, like people
hmm
hunting prey from different aspects. I used to watch hours of that. I don't know why, but I used to just love it.
You talking about
That
Wild
and the
Kingdom?
poker game. Yeah, something like that.
You talking
And
about
they just
Wild
show the
Kingdom
real
because that
raw.
came from here. Wild Kingdom, that show that came from here, was produced from here.
hmm
Yeah, they
Yeah.
show the real raw nature, how they really get down. And like you just see like wow, like they show them snatch like biting off the head, like people praying or sometimes the predator winning, like it was crazy. I used to watch that for hours on end. That and like the poker game. I don't know why, but I used to really
Can you
love
play?
that.
Wait a minute. Can you play poker?
Not good. I only played online. I never got the opportunity to play with like in person with people that know how to play, but I watched it. I think I know a little something, but I'm good at
Really?
spades though. But yeah, but I used to,
Really?
Phil, what's that guy, Phil? The tall, light skinned guy. He was one of my favorites. He never talked at the table. He was quiet, but he used to always run it.
Did he wear sunglasses?
Yes. Oh, he was
Okay.
my favorite to watch. I loved
Mm,
watching him.
Hey,
Yeah,
mm.
but I used to
Baboon
watch
Booty.
those
Baboon Booty.
tournaments.
I
What?
like. Do you? I like to gamble. Do y'all like to gamble? I like to gamble.
No, but uppity, I was talking to Bamboo Booty. I was just laughing at the name. I always laugh at their name when I see their name.
Oh yeah,
But
but no, I
I
never
never
gambled
gambled
before.
before.
Me
Never. Unless
neither.
it
I
was
never.
like with family and we gambling over like 5 cent, 10
No,
cent, 50 cent.
no,
With the family, we
no.
ain't gambling like that.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I don't
My
even know if I
dad
paid
taught it.
spades. No, I
My
think I played spades for money before. Like we play ace high. Whoever get all
Right,
the aces
spade or
through, or
chunks
yeah,
or
stuff
even
like that. Yeah.
dominoes. We didn't even play the dominoes, but we don't go high. We go like 5
mm-mm.
cent, 25, 50 cent. We
Let
keep
me
it
tell you
real
something.
low.
My dad would sit us down at the poker table, and he would take our money if we lost, and he wouldn't giving it back. So we had to
Oh yeah,
learn
and
how.
Burkina. My
No.
mother was like that.
Oh
She used to have me and my friends play Burkina, and she used to take all our money. And then my
And
friends
he
at the
would
end,
take
they'd be
our
like, "She ain't gonna give it
money.
back." And my mother be like,
No.
"No,
no,
I'm gonna give my kids
no,
their money back."
How you take
no,
your
My mother
kids'
used
money?
because we
Yeah, my
sat
mother
down.
took ours. My biological mother, I swear. I'll never forget the game. Y'all would play Pacino?
Mm, no, I've seen it though. No, I usually
Yeah,
play
we got a
Yeah,
lot of Keno
yeah.
spots. We got a lot of Keno spots.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah,
it,
that's
but
a
I
fun
usually
game
play
to play
card
for
games
money.
in the. Yeah, I don't.
That'll be a
I
good
don't.
introductory.
I don't like the. I play card games when I go to the casino. I do blackjack, poker.
Oh, you
Um,
sound like Deanna. She be on that blackjack and all that
yeah,
stuff.
that's where
Hmm.
you make
What's the
money.
most you
I
ever
never,
got from poker?
huh?
Because that seemed like a
Uh,
hard game, poker.
I think the highest I ever won was like 700 and some change.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a nice amount. That's a nice
Yeah, I
amount.
Yeah.
wasn't mad because I started out with 125, so I think
Oh,
Hmm.
125.
wow.
So I was good. And blackjack, I think the most I ever won was about 1,200.
Oh,
Now, are you one of
wow.
those people, Corio, who win a nice amount and walk away?
I
Are you
sure
one of those
do.
people
Nope,
who keep
nope,
giving it? Okay.
nope.
Yeah.
I walk with. That's how I walk. I walked away with that money. Yeah, no.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
that's good. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
because some people,
Yeah, because
they'll
I'm
win some
cheap.
money, then they lose it all and be in debt too. I'm like, woo.
Girl, when I go to
Mm-mm.
the casino, when I used to go to the casino, because I ain't been there in years, that's my grandma used to call it the casino. But when I used to go there, I used to, her country ass, the casino. But
Girl.
when I used to go there, I used to like take like $40,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like it. after I spend my $40, if I won, I won. And I might play a little back, but I try to always stop with more than I came. And then if I wasn't doing too well and maybe won back maybe 75 or 100, I would just stop and I would go over to the goddamn all you can eat seafood, crab legs, all that kind of shit, because we always went on a Friday. I don't know about y'all casinos, but on Fridays here they have like crab legs and all that shit, all you can eat. And so that's where we would go. We would win our little money or lose our little money, and then we like fuck that shit, and we go over and get some crab legs.
I mean, but and then you just go home. See,
We would
that's
like
why I
go
don't like
home. Well,
playing the
back then we
slots.
would either go home or go to a club. I'm talking about like back when I used to go to the casinos and gamble. So we would
Never been
like
in
go
the
to the
casino.
casino. We would gamble some money. We would go eat, and we might end up at a club like later that night. But yeah,
Oh no, I'm
that's
lying. I've been in the casino, but the casino wasn't open. They the casino had just got built, and they was having some type of concert, and we went over there to try the drinks. But I've never actually. But if I do go to a casino, I think I want to play like the slot machines.
yeah. We would play the slot machines. We'd be playing everything. We would go like 5 or 6 in the evening, and then we would stay for like maybe 3 hours or so. We would eat the all you can eat buffet, and then we would head back because the casinos like here where we live, there's no casinos. We had to go like to the next city or the next state.
So do
And
they
then we
give
would drive
everybody
back.
free
We would
drink?
drive back to our state, and we'd be like, "Hey, what y'all want to do? Do y'all want to go to the club? Do y'all want to go? You know?" So yeah, but
Do they give everybody free drinks, or you
They
got to be
free
give
like
you
a?
drink.
free when you're on the slots. They're watered down, but when you're on the tables, they give you decent drinks because they don't really want you to win, so they want you to get drunk. So you get
Right.
Oh,
regular drinks at the tables, but the slot machines, it's all watered down.
And at the
Yeah.
slot
oh
machines
wow.
here, like at our casino, well, I don't want to say here, but at the next states over,
Mhm.
pop and stuff like that was free. The
Mhm.
liquor, you get like one free liquor. And
Mhm.
then after that, you will have to purchase. But
Okay.
Corio, I think they were liquor down too, pretty much here too. Because I ain't never got drunk at a casino.
No.
Never.
Oh
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
wow.
And when you got your money on the table, I'm not trying to. Now that's when I'm not trying to get drunk.
I
That's
know
when
Oh
that's
I'm not
right.
no.
trying to drink too much.
You got to
No,
make sure
no.
you are coherent.
And they bug you to death. You can I refresh that? Can
Yeah,
I?
and poker
No.
is a thinking game. Poker is a
Mm-hmm.
thinking game, so you really need to be have your wits about you.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And I used to act like I was, not new, but I would just act like I'd be all. You can play. Men think women are so stupid. You know what I'm saying?
True,
And so they
true.
automatically, when you sit down, they automatically think you don't know what you're doing. And then if you act excited, then they think they know what you got. And then when you slam your cards down, they looking stupid. Then they looking at you like,
Yeah, it's a bluffing
oh, okay.
game. That's what I'm saying. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I like about poker. It's a bluffing game. So as long as you
Mm-hmm.
know, like knowing how to play is one thing, but that that's just one part of it. But a big part of it is being able to read people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of hard to do if you're playing with people you don't know. So that's what makes it,
Mm-hmm.
I think, kind of exciting. You know.
I always sit down and go, "Hey, everybody, how y'all doing?" And they be
Uh-huh.
looking at me like, "Oh yeah, sit on down." I'm like, okay, y'all asking for it. We gonna see." But yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to get off of here, y'all, because Rick is live and I want to go over to Rick.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh,
Kia,
okay.
nice talking to you. I know you don't
You
like
too.
talking
Yeah.
to me
Okay.
because you got
Say,
me blocked. So I know I
I
understand,
got
but
you
we
blocked. Oh, let me unblock you. I'm so
No, you
sorry.
don't have.
I unblock
It's
you.
okay, cause I be talking shit in the chat about everybody. It ain't just you. I'm just a
No,
shit
but now that I
talker.
got to know you, I won't take it as offensive now. If I don't really
No,
know you, I'm like, oh, who's this block. I just do that.
Just know I talk shit. No harm, no
Yeah, no,
foul.
I
I
talk
just
shit
talk
too.
shit.
I talk shit
Okay.
too. It is what it is. But all
Okay.
right, you guys, I'll
All
talk to
right.
y'all later.
Bye,
Bye bye.
uppity.
All right.
Hey, girl. I'm sorry I was late. I was trying to get here. On Sundays I try not to pick up my phone too much. So, anyway, we'll talk about
That's
the
okay.
time.
I went late too because I was waiting on Rick to go live because he had posted hours ago that he was going to be live in a few hours. So
Okay.
I was waiting and waiting because he's one of the people I like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he's great.
Right.
he great
And he
jack
didn't
up
go live.
that bald mouth old man. So anyway,
Yes, and I wanted to be there, and that's why I was like, you know what, Rick ain't live yet. It's been almost 3 hours. Let me get in where I fit in. But now he's live, so I'm about
okay.
to wrap this up, and I'm about to go on over there. But you know, I love you,
I
girls. I
love you
appreciate you
too.
for joining me today.
Sure, drop me down.
All right, babes.
Okay, bye.
All right, y'all. Once again, make sure y'all like and share that video. If y'all want to donate to the platform, $ the hood table 402 or send a cash app and stay safe. Be blessed. Remain vigilant at all times and always remember to keep it hood. I'm out. Bye.